All right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends. We are back to the Fragged Empire universe tonight, except instead of playing Fragged Empire, we're playing Ragtag again. Ragtag, the new rules-light game within the Fragged Empire universe, currently up on Backrocket. It's going to be on Backrocket as of right now. I believe it ends on the 7th. I think Wade's in the chat. He can confirm, but I think it's the 7th. So there's like a little over a week and a half or something, I think, maybe left. So if you're interested, if you see what we're doing and you like the game and it sounds pretty cool, head on over and take a look at it on Backrocket. I'm sure Melissa will drop the link multiple times throughout the session because that's what she's paid to do. And something like that. I don't know. None of the rest of them were paid. So we all just... It was fun, but yeah, we're back. This is part 2 which is now a part 2, which is 2-part scenario. So, and we'll see how it goes. We left off at a kind of a curious little moment where we saw a dinosaur, and then dinosaur in a space station makes perfect sense, and then we'll kind of go from there. So let's see. Before I do a recap, why don't we go ahead? Let's do a quick intro. Who everyone's playing, because this is only our second time playing. So just something quick, like a one-sentence thing. Who you playing? Species you took, vocation, anything interesting you want to share. So, Joe, I'm going to start with you, man.
All right. Yeah, I'm playing Emmett, 067. He is a Palantor, a purple spark variety of them. Got a fresh new body. I think the purple sparks are like the youngest of the sparks, usually. So he's a little anxious about being in the physical world instead of his Palantor server, but liking it. And then his vocation is a Boffin. So he's kind of like a tactical type brains operation kind of guy. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Purple sparks are so like those are the ones that are like less, like there's like less quality. Is the blue spark the better one? Am I thinking that right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe you're thinking of the all spark.
Yale Spark.
Yeah, that too.
The ceremonial leader of the Palantor.
Yeah.
We just figured out that Transformers is apparently in the Fried universe. Look at that. Fantastic. Trey, tell us a little bit about who you're playing.
I am playing Zara, your Kaltor and Roscoe Ace, and she is really excited to work through this and have a really good story to tell for her big brother Goro, who she really hopes she can see soon.
Nice, very nice. Goro is wow. That's it's really dark because I know what happened to Goro and in our other game. I don't know if Zara's going to be seeing Goro anytime soon, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He's going to a very, very dangerous prison for a while. Remember, what was it? Chronicles of Riddick? That kind of prison planet is sort of where he's at. So, sorry. Spoilers. All right, Chuck, who are you playing?
I am Calcanus. Legion Exilia, vocation is mercenary. I wanted Calcanus to be really strong and really dumb. So far, I've just been playing him strong. I need to be much dumber this session.
Okay. I believe in you. I think you can do it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. Melissa, tell us about who you're playing.
I am playing Sagane. She is a Nephilim, so she is a emissary Nephilim, and she is a parasite, which I need to figure out how exactly to earn that. I didn't necessarily last time, but I get an extra credit after a mission if I betray or sacrifice another PC. So I told everyone this after the first session, that this is my ability of Silver Spoon. So, if it comes, don't say you weren't warned.
Hey, if you backstab and kill somebody on the team, that person can come back as Telatl, which is the new species subculture. So there's that.
So everyone's just going to be really mean to me so that I'll kill them. And they can try the new thing. Okay.
That's the reason,
Perfect.
Right?
That's exactly the reason.
Yeah.
That is the reason I will tell myself.
What kind of jerk? What kind of jerk would be mean to a fellow player and get their character killed? Anyway, Jeremy, go ahead and tell us a little bit about who you're playing.
Well, that is a great question that you have asked. But meanwhile, I am Furbrayne. I am a Remnant science space wizard. I am a 4-foot wombat with psychic powers, and I am also strong and dumb. In my own way.
Okay, fantastic. Are there brains in this party? I was going to say who's the brains of the party, but then I was asking, are there brains in the party? Is it you?
Yes. I have the most brains. The most bestest.
Okay.
I even have an ability that if somebody else fails something, I can do it better than them.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do a quick recap and let's dive in. So you are, your crew is basically working on a bounty for a Kaltoran grifter by the name of Jacob Flint. He goes by many aliases, in fact. You have some contacts who basically placed him in the red zone of Alabaster 3, which is one of the big corp space stations around the gas giant Alabaster. However, Alabaster 3 is the one that's partially under quarantine after a chemical terrorist attack a while back. And there's this still inaccessible area on the station. And that's apparently where he's been hiding out. So you all kind of modified some sort of storage container to help you sneak in through an unguarded way. You entered through a transit hub, this tram and lev transit hub. It was monitored by some drones. You were able to elude them or trick them. I think you put a hat on top of one of them. It was weird. And then you made your way to an Orbit Fresh Foods court. And there, a hungry Zhao tried to ingest you, but you managed to temporarily trap it inside of various meat dispensers. And then you fled into the residential suites. And I use air quotes around suites because it was not a very nice apartment neighborhood. You watched what looked like a Cure Chem squad. It was like tagging and bagging like some sickly folk that was in an otherwise empty neighborhood. You even followed like a Chem squad for a little bit. And you saw that they were taking some bodies to the hospital, which seems to be at the relative center of this section of the station. But then you turned around and you decided to head elsewhere. And you went over to this hydroponics facility, also from Orbit Fresh Foods. Along the way, you did discover the recently killed bodies of a different bounty hunter troop who were here searching for someone by the name of Manly Plumpbottom, which you all know is an alias of Jacob Flint. Now, you eventually got inside the hydroponics facility. You discovered that the plant growth had exponentially increased. All of the sunlight simulator orbs were still working. And there was like this kind of cloud of chems and stuff like that, which has been having different effects on various things that you've come across. So there's a bunch of like ample fruit-bearing trees and things like that. And then you heard a roar. And it was that of an animatronic creature that humans apparently called dinosaurs. And Orbit Fresh Foods had placed in the gardens as entertainment for children because there's advertisements about dinosaur rides or something like that. Except this dinosaur was really, really big, bigger than it should have been according to the advertisement. Its head was sticking out over these tree tops and it started to roar. And that's the last place we ended up. I think you also got rained on by chems, and so we reset that plot die. But that plot die is continuing to tick because it's going to rain again. So now, it's not coming charging at you, but it's definitely roaring. You can all see it. It's extremely large. This chamber is massive. You're still looking for Jacob Flint. You don't have any specific idea of where he is within the zone. You just know he's in this zone. So I'm going to turn it over to you all. What would you like to do?
Shoot the dinosaur.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So you see, well, let me go ahead and get some combat music instead. Let's go ahead and do that one. All right. So Kalkanis, you see maybe 30, 50 feet ahead of you. Like you can see the base of the legs of this thing. You can see its head sticking out. You all would know it as a Tyrannosaurus Rex, basically, but your characters probably don't know that specifically. But it's animatronic, but it also has this like grafted flesh on top of it, and it seems to be acting kind of odd. But absolutely. So Kalkanis should just start shooting. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll your attack. Let me get your target number for this. Okay.
Yeah.
What is your weapon target?
My weapon targets dodge.
Okay. It has a very low dodge rating, so this would be a difficulty of 3. It's a giant creature. It's not going to be able to dodge. So yeah, absolutely.
And I am very confident that I can drop this thing in one shot.
Okay.
So I would like to use my overconfident die
Okay.
along with my attack. So I'll roll a d4 and a d20.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Overconfidence, a negative one.
I mean, I could guarantee you that you can't actually drop this to one spot. But no. Calcanus thinks, though. Yeah.
I can do it.
Oh, yeah.
I've practiced for this most of my
shot so
life.
many dinosaurs. Yeah.
Listen,
I grew up in Jurassic Park. It's fun. All right.
I've watched the documentaries.
So if this is your first time watching Ragtag, so basically what he's doing is he has a skill die for his attack, but then he's also using a drama die, which allows him to get a second die. He's going to roll both of those. He doesn't add them together. He basically, in this case, takes the better because you're overconfident. Are you using a positive?
I'm using a negative die.
Are you using negative? Excuse me. So you're taking the negative.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I
that's
got to
what we're
roll a d4 and a d20.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a 2 on the d4 and a 1 on the 20.
Okay, so you rolled a 1. One of the things we screwed up last time is we forgot about critical fails. We realized this afterwards. With a 1 on your die, even though you're still gonna pass because you're still gonna hit it with a 3, but a 1 means that there's going to be some additional negative consequence that's going to happen. And so, do you have any ammo in your weapon or anything like that? Do you have any ammo?
I've got 2 ammo.
Okay, so you're going to expend one of them for the shot already, but I'm going to say as you can, like your gun just jams for a bit, and I don't mean it jams like it's not working. I mean it's working too much. You just start firing wildly, and you can see one of the trees next to where this giant dinosaur is. You just cut that thing in half, and it just timbers over, and we'll say it's like essentially kind of going to fall down in a way that almost blocks your escape. So you guys would have to find a different way to escape this thing if you wanted to escape it. Okay.
It's fine, everyone. I've committed us to this engagement.
Okay.
What's up?
It's turn now. I'm going to go ahead and have it... what do I want it to do? I have so many things it can do. I'm going to have it do a big action. So in Ragtag, normally combat, it's player, PC goes and NPC goes, PC goes, NPC goes, etc., and you alternate back and forth. Unless the GM does a big action, and a big action effectively targets like a group. And once I use it, I can't go again until all of you have gone. So I'm going to use a big action, what I call trample. So as you fire at this, it's just going to charge at all of you. Okay. Let's see. Take so you're all going to roll against dodge. So go ahead and give me a dodge roll. This is going to be a target number of 6 as a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex is charging at you.
Do these dice explode on max roll?
They do not, unfortunately, but you can use drama die.
I got a 1. I'm doing great.
Okay.
I am going to use a negative drama die, a d6 of outmatched. I feel like
That's
I'm outmatched.
very accurate.
Against
Oh, that sounds fun.
this.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Very accurate.
I think I'm also going to do that.
Okay.
Me too. That's just too good. Why wouldn't we?
Oh,
Can't wait till I wipe the party and they all come back
that's
as
so
Telottles.
sad.
Mhm.
That's so
Okay.
sad.
All
So
right.
when
Let me see.
you roll the negative dice, you take the lower,
The
right?
worst. Yeah. Yep. That's correct.
Yeah. So I rolled a 6 on the d6
Okay.
that I got, but I got a 1 on the d4 that I
Okay.
rolled.
Let's go around one by one, figure out where everyone's at. We're going to start with Emmett. Emmett, how did you do on your roll? Everyone's going to roll this.
I got a 4.
Okay, you got a 4. Did you get any 1s on your roll?
No, I did not.
Okay, so you, as this thing charges in with a surprising amount of speed, much faster than you would have given it credit for, and maybe you all were a little bit distracted by the falling tree that nearly smashed on top of you, it's going to deal 1 body damage to you. So you're taking 1
Ouch.
body damage. Okay.
Okay.
Zara, how did you do on your roll?
4.
4. Same, any 1s or anything on yours? Okay, same deal. You just kind of get caught up. It tramples through. It's got this long mechanical tail that slashes around and these huge legs. And so whether it's the legs, whether it's its head that's getting down low to the ground and almost headbutting you, or this tail, you're getting hit by something. It's just this massive creature right in the middle of you. Calcanus, how'd you do?
I got a 4.
You got a 4. Okay. Also, not very good. So you also take a point of damage. So go ahead and take a point of that damage.
No, I'm sorry. I got a 1.
Oh, you got a 1.
But it's just
Okay.
on a single die.
Okay. So I'm going to say here's what's going to happen. Calcanus, since you got a 1, you're still going to take 1 body damage. But when this thing stops charging, it's stopping with one of its giant feet, one of its giant claws, right on top of you. And you are now pinned beneath one of the legs of these things, feeling the heavy weight of it as it crushes you into the forest floor.
I
Okay.
can't breathe.
Sagane, how'd you do?
Because I rolled a drama die, I rolled a 1, so it's a crit fail.
Okay. So one person's already pinned. So what I'm going to say, as this comes charging in, it's going to headbutt you. But in the process, it kind of lifts you up. You go flying up into the air, and you kind of get caught up in a tree, one of these large citrus trees, these oversized citrus trees. So you're just kind of caught up, entangled in the brush up here. Still 1 point of damage. Body damage.
While she goes flying, her curly, poofy hair just looks great. She's floating
Fantastic.
through the air.
The light coming down from the sunset orbs definitely adds a little bit of sheen. And then
Absolutely.
Furbrayne, how did you do?
I was so excited when I saw my 6, but then I remembered I have to take the lower, and I need to take the 3. So
Okay.
yeah.
1 point of damage. So Furbrayne, Zara, and Emmett, all of, the 3 of you managed to get out of the way of this thing, but you still take like a bump or a tail. So you take 1 body damage. Calcanus gets pinned beneath one, and Sanguine gets launched up into one of these citrus trees. The good news is that was a big action. So everyone needs to go now before it can go again. So any order you guys want. Who goes next? Other than Calcanus. Calcanus is already gone, so the rest of you have to go first. Goes next?
I'm just gonna do a straight attack with my gun, so probably quick for me to get that.
Okay. So you dodge over, out of the way, you get yourself back up, dust yourself off, pull the gun out, and fire. What is your gun targeting?
Absorb.
Okay. It's going to be a difficulty of 5.
Actually, no, I'm gonna use my. I'm so sorry. I'm using my other gun, rail revolver, which is against dodge.
Okay. So again, it's a 3. Yeah. So a 3 on that one.
Can I use a drama dice on this or no?
What would you like to use? So the drama die have to it has to thematically fit the moment. So what do you think thematically fits the moment?
So, I think I want to use technology, which is a D12, and I have a thing that is one of my abilities is recollection. Once per session, may use ancestral genetic memories as the theme to allow any drama dice.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm thinking that for technology, like Kaltoran are like scavengers and scrappers. So I generally speaking, so I think she's able to kind of spot where there might be a particularly weak joint in this animatronic T-Rex and try and find there.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Go ahead and give it a roll. So it's a D12 for the technology, and then your attack die, whatever your attack die is, and then you take the better.
So that I'm having a hard time finding is the attack die.
So if you look on your sheet, it is the second black line from the bottom on the right hand side.
Oh, got it. Thank you.
So let me see. I think I have yours. Let me see. I think you just have a D4.
I do.
Yeah, so a D4 and a D12, and you need a 5.
Yeah.
So hopefully the
Yeah.
D12 does well for you. Oh no, you said dodge. I'm sorry, you're targeting its dodge. You need a 3.
Got a 10 on the D12.
Okay, what's on the D4? Okay, and so no crit fail. So yeah, you fire away. So where do you think the joint is that you're firing at in this creature?
I would love for it to be like where one of the arm meets the torso. Like that makes no sense to me.
So
because
it's where
they
the
have
arm.
these tiny arms to get with.
Yeah, and so as you shoot, like you hit something, and like it kind of just folds a little further inwards because you know that for transport, these things tuck the limbs inside, and so you hit that little switch, and suddenly one of the arms gets tucked inside, and so it only has this one arm, this tiny little one-armed T-Rex. Okay.
Amazing, thank you.
All right, so Zara's gone, Calcanus is gone, Emmett, Furbrayne, or Saguenay. Saguenay's stuck up in a tree as well. So what are the three of you? One of you want to go?
The country with the great hair.
The gray hair and gigantic oranges.
I think
enormous.
I want to see. So this is like a robotic giant T-Rex thing.
Yeah,
I want to try and
animatronic.
Yeah. I want to try and see if it's got like a power source on it somewhere that I could like potentially disconnect, mess with, get it to power down.
So there is in fact a secondary. So normally plot dice are used in combat. Like it's almost like a health thing. And so you've gotten 2 shots, and so that's depleted 1 plot die. But there is a secondary plot die when it comes to this creature, and that's for trying to create a malfunction, like a lasting malfunction, but it's going to require a mechanics test. So it would be you trying to, and it's going to be a difficulty of 5 because you do have to get kind of close for it, and you can try to roll mechanics. Yeah.
I guess which falls under attack.
Yeah, so mechanics would be the specialty die.
Okay.
If you don't have mechanics as a specialty, then you can go ahead and roll
It'd
attack.
just be whatever you attack. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to get close enough to study this thing, it would be kind of reckless. So I'm going to throw the reckless
very
negative
much.
die on.
Nice.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
and I've got a D6 for tech. So this will be a D10 and a D6.
And it is going to be a 5 as the target number. It looks like you got it.
I got a 5 on my D6, but I got a 3 on the D10, which I have to take.
You took the negative. You took the negative reckless.
Yeah.
Sorry. There are 2 recklesses, one for positive, one for negative. Okay. So
Yeah, I already took the positive one last time.
So what happens is, as you come up and you try to like take advantage of what Zara has just done, you see it dips down like it's ready to bite and swallow Calcanus out from underneath its foot. You try to come in there and sort of double down on it, but it catches you at the last second and it sweeps, and you just kind of get knocked. It doesn't really do much damage, as more as it just kind of gets you tumbling backwards, and you feel yourself just slam against that fallen tree that Calcanus shot down. So we'll say like you're not pinned, but we'll say you're like prone next to the tree. So the fallen tree.
Okay.
All right. So okay. So it's more so you're not taking damage from it. You just take it. It's just basically a negative consequence. All right. So then Saguenay and Furbrayne still left to go.
I have 2 bad ideas.
Okay.
Go
Let's
for
hear
it.
them.
Okay. So, I know what the more logical one is, but instead, I'm going to think of all the sports videos of when the people are fighting each other, and then they grab the other guy's jersey, and they pull the jersey up over his head, and then I think, hey, all this flesh that's grafted onto the robot is like a jersey, so I should use my telekinesis to just pull the flesh up over its head. And, like, leave it blinded and all discoordinated and stuff.
Okay. So you want to use your telekinesis to try to pull its outer fleshy
Yes,
dermis.
like if there was a sausage and you just pulled the skin up.
Okay.
Doing hockey.
I love bad ideas.
I think this is
not.
This is fantastic. I am going to increase difficulty just because of the sheer
fair.
volume of the flesh. This
Yeah,
thing is a giant
fair.
T-Rex. So I'll say I want a 5.
Okay.
And what I'll say is this will get added. This will, if successful, this won't do damage to it, but it will decrease its like the mechanics malfunction. We'll say.
Okay.
We'll say this is a way of doing that.
Sounds great. Let's see how that goes.
Okay.
5.
Right.
Yes!
So you start to, like, as everyone's watching this animatronic just toss and throw everybody around, right as it looks like it's about to bite Calcanis' head off, all of a sudden, Calcanis, you're looking up and you just watch as this wave of skin comes up from its shoulders and over its face and then flops down on top of you. The rest of you see now this naked skeletal T-Rex with all these guts and things like that, and there is a huge skin, there is a huge thing of skin on the ground covering Calcanis, in fact, and I'll say covering Emmett too, because Emmett was prone. So both of you are kind of now underneath this skin. Okay.
That looks really gross. You should get out of that.
That is going to tick down its malfunction die, which is much lower than its like defeat die, basically, or its health die. Okay, Saguenay, you are stuck up in the tree right now. What would you like to do? You're the last one to go.
Yeah, what would I like to do? What am I good at? I'm really good at many things. So I'm reasonably good at yeah, that's basically what I'm good at. It's like lying to people and like buying stuff. I'm good at stealth though. Can I like stealth my way around this tree to get in an ideal shooting spot for next time?
Okay, so you want to try to basically, you're essentially going to forfeit attacking this round to try to get a bonus next round. Okay, sure, let's do that. So let's say, I think you said you're good at stealth, so that's your perception skill, right?
Yeah, so I've got a D10 in stealth, so that's like a specialty under perception.
You are moving about as well on the tree, so it's kind of like climbing a tree. So let's take the difficulty up a notch to 5 then, as opposed to 4, just because you are still, in addition to stealthing, you're trying not to fall down as well.
So I'm rolling a die in which I might fall. Is that what you're labeling that I'm doing? I just want to make sure.
So if you have the potential of falling from here.
Right now.
Okay. Melissa fell out of a hot air balloon on Friday. Everyone was like, don't do this. You're going to fail and fall out of the hot air balloon. And she's like, no, I got this. And then she fell and yeah.
This time, however, I rolled a 7.
Okay. So I will say that you managed to position yourself in such a way that the creature can't see you, and that you will we'll give you some floating bonus for when it's your turn to go again. Okay.
Nice.
All right, so I did my big action. I'm trying to remember if all of you need to go before it goes. I think all of you need to take an action.
Yeah, I think we did.
No, Calcanis, I think, needs to go before he gets to go again. So
right.
I think.
You got this.
Wait.
I am just gonna grab a hold of that goddamn toe
Okay.
and give it a suplex.
All right, this is gonna be, you're trying to suplex a giant T-Rex.
I'm underneath of it.
While you're underneath of it, this is gonna be a TN6, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be a physical test, or you could do an attack either way. But I'm gonna downgrade your die. So one die step lower. So I would say either attack or strength as a physical specialty. Either one of those is fine. Downgrade it one step. And your difficulty is a 6. And if you succeed, you will affect this thing somehow. Yeah.
And I think this feels like something I would be all in for.
Okay, fair enough.
Sounds like it.
You downgraded my die. I'll be rolling a D8 and a D20.
Okay. All right.
Come
so you're
on.
all in. I see good. All right,
That's
I see
10.
a 10. Okay, so what this will do is it'll do a couple of things. First, you're gonna flip it up top. How does it look? What does it look like when a legion, who's not a small person, by the way, these like simian, bipedals.
I grab
knock this thing
toe,
up,
and then I just lift my pelvis into the sky. And once I have a great arch going, I just use all those calf muscles that exist in Calcanis' leg and just yeet just right over. And then that ankle leverage, game over.
I will say it's now going to flop on its side. So it is now prone and it's on its side. It's still functional. Its tail is still slashing around. It's still biting, but it's on its side now. So I'm going to say it's going to take away its ability to trample at this point, is what you've effectively done.
Great. Yep.
However, it can go again. It's its turn, and it's on its side. Since it can't trample, it's instead going to bite, and it's going to bite you, Calcaneus. You just knocked it over. It's like there's skin on the ground. You're standing right next to it. This is going to be... I think you can pick between... So it's a bite versus deflector health. I think it's the lower of the two. So what's lower?
Yeah. D4 for both.
Okay. So go ahead. This is going to be... The bite is a TN of 5. So go ahead and try to... actually, no. You have your... hang on. You have your die of D4. And you need to hit a difficulty of 5, so you're going to need to do a drama die, if you want to pass.
Yeah. You know, I think I'm going to be reckless, and rather than panicking and stepping back, I am going to step into the bites to try and remove its leverage, fulcrumy, mathematical stuff.
Okay.
That'll give me a D4 and a D10.
It's that number swirling around Calcaneus' head as he does the calculations.
Is this a positive reckless?
It is positive.
Which is good, because you rolled a 5. Okay, so you do manage to step into its mouth, which allows you maybe to get inside the row of teeth. And so as the mouth closes down on you, you don't get stabbed by anything, but you are inside the mouth, having not yet been swallowed or bit.
Exactly where I want to be. Now I have access to its weak spot.
Okay. So Calcaneus is gone. Who else would like to go next? Saguenay, you were aiming. Do you want to follow through?
I would like to, yes.
Okay, so we'll give you, I'll say between two things. Between you being up there, we'll say that's a +1. This thing got knocked prone. I know in a lot of games prone is bad for ranged, but this is a giant dinosaur, so I think a giant dinosaur that's not moving around is actually going to, so take a +2 to your roll, just a flat +2 on the roll, and you can roll your attack. What is your gun target?
Absorb.
It's going to be a difficulty of 5.
Yikes. And I'm rolling a D4.
With a +2, so all you gotta do is roll 3 or 4. It's 50-50 shot.
Yeah. I'm gonna... let's see. How do I want to handle this? I'm looking for some drama dice.
Okay.
I'll just roll it and see how this goes.
You've got this.
I don't got this. Total of a 3.
Total. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't actually work. Any of the... I assume one of them is a 1. Is that correct?
I didn't roll any drama dice, so it's not a crit.
Okay. So you... Well, I gave you a +2. You rolled a D4, and you said a total of a 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay, that's right. You didn't... I'm sorry. Crit fails only happen when there's 2 dice. I see where you're going. My bad. Okay, so I'm going to say you don't fall out of the tree. But I will say that your otherwise snipery silent spot, you feel like you were unknown, but you do hear the sounds of like rumbling from your position, and you can see the trees are moving about 50 feet to 75 feet or so further in this giant cavern, and you can see what looks like some like a series of these like fins that are kind of sticking up every now and then, as it looks like there is more giant dinosaur animatronic creatures inside of this garden that it seems very interested about what's happening. Okay.
Oh dear.
It gets to go again. So it's going to... What's it going to do?
No, thank you with that little chuckle.
I agree. Bad news bears right there.
I think it's going to try to swallow Calcaneus, as I do actually have the swallow abilities and stuff. So,
oh no.
Okay. So Calcaneus, this is going to be I think we're going to call this absorb. I'm kind of doing this on the fly. Let's say absorb for this one. You're inside the mouth, so I'm going to say difficulty 5. It's not impossible. You can grab onto something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on to a tooth and don't let go.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I am going to. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the reckless negative die. That doesn't sound right, but why the hell not?
Why not?
Why
Maybe
not?
I'll get doubles.
And you know what? If it wants me to go down there, I'm gonna go down there in a way it doesn't like.
That makes
And be
sense.
reckless about it. So
That
I'm doing
makes sense.
absorbs.
Mhm.
I get a D6 and a D10.
Wow.
So I got a
no.
9
And you got that one.
and a 1.
Yeah,
And
and it
a
was
one.
and it was a reckless in a
Oh,
negative
man.
way, so it is the one that you actually
It's
rolled.
the
right?
one.
Oh no.
Oh.
Listen,
Look at this.
This is
game.
how this is what I think is going to happen. First of all, it's going to swallow you. So you feel this like suction as it crunches you down its throat, and you're going to take one body damage from the sheer crunch of going down. But then you realize you're going into, despite the fact that there's no skin sleeve on this thing, you're getting redirected into these this interior machinery, and you feel yourself starting to get grind down. You're going to take another body damage for that. And so right now, Calcanus, you are stuck inside the gears of the internal mechanisms of this thing, slowly being crunched by those machinery.
So, just a little rules clarification here.
Yes, sir.
When I take my 4th body damage, it says dead in that field.
Okay, you have to roll. So so when you take 4 body damage or 4 stress in this case, so 4 body damage causes unconsciousness. So you basically get knocked out, and then you have to roll a table. So I put them in Foundry. If you want to go to the,
But we don't roll until someone checks on their body.
Oh, that's
roll
right.
on the table until someone
That's
checks
right.
their unconscious body.
Okay, everyone, forget everything you just said. You forgot all that. Okay, those are not the.
Wait, what?
You're fine. You're fine. But you guys have lost sight of Calcanus.
Yes.
But you do hear a
taking a
strange
nap.
crunching sound from inside of the creature. Okay. So Saguenay, you shot, you missed. Calcanus is gone. I think the rest of you haven't gone yet. So, what would you like to do?
I have an idea to try to help Emmett. We've pulled
Okay.
the skin off, right? And it's on the side. And we have this lovely tree laying on the ground to be a fulcrum. So what I want to do is to pick up the tree, shove the pointy bit of the top of the tree into somewhere like where there's a gap, and then fulcrum it up. And leave it nice and exposed.
Sounds good.
Okay. So you
That's
said you
about
wanted
as
to
deep as he
help.
digs.
You wanted to help him with this. Okay. So
Yeah. It might damage it. I don't know, but it's what he would do.
I'm perfectly fine to make this part of the malfunction die as opposed to the damage
Okay.
die. As you're trying to basically gum up the works a bit with this thing. So you're trying to lift a chunk of this tree that fell, and you're trying
Like
to
shove it into some open space and then like crank it up.
Okay. I think 5 is fine. Let's do 10 and 5 on this.
Okay.
Okay. Let me know how you do.
10.
Any drama
no,
die?
wait.
Good.
Yeah,
you're
no
good.
drama die, but 10.
10 is it's fantastic. Okay.
Look at the
So
wiggle around in your guts, you stupid dinosaur. Where's my friend? Let go of my friend. Poop him out.
So after you all disappear, Calcanus disappeared into the mouth. You haven't seen him since. You take this giant tree branch and you impale the torso of this thing.
Smart move.
Unbeknownst to Furbrayne, that is where
where I am.
Calcanus is. So, but nonetheless, you have ticked down the malfunction die for this thing, and it's down to 1. The death die or runaway die is much higher still. I think it's at 4. Yeah, it's at 4. So your plot die for trying to make this thing completely malfunction and stop working is much lower. Normally, I was saying additionally it was going to be mechanics, but you're coming up with such good ideas, like we should just roll with it. Zara and Emmett. Actually, no, it gets to go. I keep forgetting it because I didn't take a big action, so it's going to go again. It's already swallowed Calcanus, so we're good there. I think it's going to try to bite someone else. I have 3 different targets, so I'll roll randomly who I'm going to target. It's going to target Zara. Okay, Zara, it's going to snap out at you quicker than you, as it kind of spins around like it's doing that little like whoop, 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 like a Three Stooges dance on the ground as it's spinning around, and it's going to try to snap at you with its bite. Lower of deflect or health for you. So you're either taking it or you're like trying to sort of parry it away. What's your lower of 2 stats for that?
You said health, or what was the other one?
Deflect.
I have a D4 on deflect and a D6.
Okay. D4 on
D6
deflect
on
and a
health.
D6 on health. Okay, so go ahead and roll your deflect. You do need a 5 on this, so you probably need to tap into a dromedai if you want to try to pass.
Yeah. It's gonna try and bite at me, right? So, can I take the negative unsettled?
You can, but you won't be able to pass because your D4 by definition won't hit the target, and you'd have to. You see what I'm
I have
saying?
to take a positive test.
What positives do you have left?
Yeah. Pretty much all of them except
If they roll the same number on both, would it?
That's true. Critical success. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That would be the only way to do it, though. So
Yeah.
maybe try a
Yeah.
positive.
And honestly,
Yeah,
you're
I
rolling
think
2.
I'll try a positive.
Okay.
Can I do an all-in at D20?
So you have to do what Calcanus did and risk
My
death, which means you have to
Yeah.
learn from Hey, it worked for him. He stepped into the mouth and got underneath.
Okay, sweet. I'm gonna try and do that then.
You try to go into the mouth to hide from the teeth.
And yeah.
Perfect sense. All right, go for it. I think that makes sense.
The last thing they'd think.
All right.
I mean, just get too much in there. Just gotta, spit it all out.
That's
Oh,
right.
Got
goodness.
a 12 on my D20 and a 3 on my D4.
Okay, it was a positive, so the 12 counts. You do, in fact, dodge out of the way, and you manage to get underneath the teeth. And so you are once more in the giant. You are just like Calcanus in the giant globe, but you are protected from the teeth. But you are inside the mouth, so you're gonna need to find your way out, or someone hopefully can get you out of there. It's gonna go next. Because so it's going to attempt to try to swallow you, just like Calcanus. So Zara, this is going to be absorb as the suction. You're trying. I don't know if absorb is the right one in this case. I'm welcome to arguments otherwise, but that's what I gave Chuck, so I'm going to stick with it.
That makes sense.
Okay. So it's just not to get swallowed down into the grinding belly and meet Calcanus.
There's plenty of room. The water's fine.
Okay.
I'll just 3.
Beat the T-Rex by
One
overfeeding.
dice, I've rolled a 3.
Okay, so it does swallow you. You do take a point of body damage. You do notice you are next to the now horrifically ground up body of Calcanus, and it doesn't look good down here. Not to mention, there is a giant tree branch that seems to have impaled, at the very least, part of the machinery. This thing is really starting to malfunction in strange ways, but it's still got one left. If somebody can try to turn it down.
So does
You
this
have
count
to
as
start
checking on Calcanus?
I was just thinking that just occurred to me.
Sure. I'm okay with
Oh
that.
shit, did I make you have to start rolling, Chuck?
I
He
think
was gonna
so.
have to anyway.
Oh.
Don't worry.
But it's fine.
All right,
I'm so sorry.
Chuck. If you look in the
the
random table section, you
Body
should see it.
damage table.
Yeah,
Oh,
All right.
I feel
I'm
so
clicking the button.
bad.
it's a D4. Oh no, Chuck, go ahead and read it.
Death. Well, this is a fine pickle. That final step off the mortal coil was rather definitive. You wonder what comes next. Your allies may loot your corpse for items and credits. Make a new character.
Okay. Chuck, you get to
More
be
of
the top
a
one. if you
relish
want.
than a pickle, I think. Oh,
It
ground.
is
look at
more
this
of a
guy.
relish, yeah.
+1 to your next ability. That's wonderful. That's hilarious.
snap.
I like it.
Yay!
Okay. So, Zara, you do notice that he has been so ground up that he is no longer bleeding. His head is no longer spherical, and half his body seems to have been ground down. Now, the good news, though, for you, Zara, is that his body here has prevented you from getting pushed into those. So it gives you basically an extra round to survive. So even in death, he has protected you somehow. Okay. Emmett
Good
and
news, bad
Saguenay.
news.
I think Emmett and Saguenay still have to go. That was its turn.
Yeah, I
so
haven't
it's
gone
now
yet.
Emmett or Saguenay. Okay, one of you can go.
And this thing's still one track away from.
It is one track
malfunctioning.
away on the like you're made it malfunction enough that it's gonna no longer essentially work right now.
Okay. Yeah, I want to do another just like technology now that's got all of its guts exposed and intermingled with Calcanus. Just gonna get in there and try and jam it up a little bit more and make it stop working.
Okay. So like by default, I was going for mechanics, but I've been giving Jeremy some flexibility. So if you have a different idea that if you want to try to leverage a different skill, I'm open to hearing what that might be. But otherwise, mechanics would be the ideal thing
I'm
to
good
use.
with mechanics. That's
All right, man.
one of my better ones too. So
Okay.
just trying
Give it a
to
go.
mess with its mechanics.
Chuck, I dropped the new update that Wade put in the Frag Discord yesterday. If you wanted to actually make the Telatl.
I am going to start.
And then that's
working
a
on that right now.
5.
Yay!
Okay,
+1
5 is what you would need. And so, what does it look like as you manage to finally gum up the works enough on this thing for it to power down temporarily?
I feel like there's a lot of armor and stuff that Calcanus is wearing, and there's probably some sort of engine or thing that's very intricate. I'm just gonna kind of shove some of its armor plates from Calcanus into that and have it.
And you guys
up.
hear this like loud piercing sound of scraping of metal on metal. It kind of seizures for a bit. You see it shift and move, and then it kind of comes to this sudden stop. Its one non-tucked T-Rex arm is sort of up a little too high in a strange way, like it's asking for 5, and then it becomes inert. Because of that, Zara, I would say, because you have already ripped the skin off Furbrayne, I would say there's no extra difficulty for you to climb out of this thing since you are not caught in the grind of the gears the way Calcanus is. However, Saguenay, you know that there is another creature not too far away that seems to be attracted by the sounds of this. So I turn it over to you as this thing has now come to a close. What do you guys want to do?
Saguenay doesn't really know what's going on because she's been sort of up on the tree, and so she's just gonna kind of make sure that everyone is aware that another one is coming. And she also wants to look from her perch up here in the tree to see, is there some type of like control panel room or something like that for these things,
Yeah.
like being animatronic? So like I'm high up, like can I see something like that?
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, give me this is going to be perception. And I'll tell you, you can, because you are high up, it is it's pretty difficult up here to see because there's just so much. It's hard to see the ground, but since you're so high up, you can actually get a decent visual of most of the chamber. And the globes of pseudo sunlight have not made it difficult to see in here. It's not particularly dark. So give me a perception. I'll give you like a flat +1 to this just because of the height, if you want to give that a go. And just a difficulty of 4 is fine.
Okay. My perception is a D4.
Okay.
I've got technology is one of the positives that I still have left.
Yeah.
So technology is a D12. So I'm kind of tracking where I would think a control room would be.
Do you have
Here.
any equipment on you that you might be taking advantage of, like a scope or something like that? Because I think it's like you use technology or you use missions.
Oh.
So maybe you're like using the scope of your gun or something like that as you're looking around for it.
Sure. I have a fusion pistol. I don't. Maybe that works.
Maybe it's all souped up and you can I'm fine with that. It's one shot.
All right. Yay. D12, D4. See what I can roll.
Roll that 1. Let's go. Fall out of the tree.
I rolled doubles, 4 and a 4.
All right. I'm going to give you 2 things then.
Yes.
So first of all, you do in fact notice that there appears to be a localized pen area. And you can see what looks like a children's playground and all sorts of these weird different displays that shows the different animals the different dinosaurs that are out there. So you can see that if anywhere there would be some kind of control mechanism, it would be in a little hut that's within that playground area, and you can see all of the branding for Orbit Fresh food rides. The second thing I can tell you is that you notice maybe about 100 yards away on the other side of that fin-moving dinosaur coming your way, you see that there appears to be a small makeshift camp up in one of the trees, a little tree house camp up there, someone's been sleeping or hiding up there. Those are the 2 things you see, again, as this creature gets close. So, with that in mind, what do you shout down to them?
I'll shout down that another one's coming, and there's a camp up here, and I'm going to see if I can try to turn it off over there. And she's pointing. I don't know if anyone can see her because she's been up in a tree, but she'll kind of point towards where that little room hut thing might be and where someone's camping.
Okay. Down on the
Sarah,
floor.
Meanwhile, climbs out of the T-Rex looking super freaked out. And I don't think Calkindus is coming.
No.
She's saying that to Furbrayne and Emmett.
Okay.
If
I don't think he made it.
Toto? Well, come on now, you're fine. You're just gonna pull on your boot here. We're just put this back and then put that in your helmet and
I think he'll need a little bit more than that. I'm sure he went out doing what he loved.
Of course.
Did suplex a dinosaur.
I mean to step on
You
this.
went down like a champ.
But you guys do hear thump, 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 thump. So you realize something's coming closer to you.
The only thing that would make him happier than defeating one dinosaur is defeating 2 dinosaurs.
That's
and so
true.
levitate his
That's
body
true.
and fling his body at the new dinosaur.
Good. Roll your
It's
dumb
what he
die.
would have wanted.
Good. Roll your stupid
It
dice.
is actually. I think.
As you
I think it is what he would have wanted.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
hurl his body like it's a freaking catapult thing.
It's what he
Oh,
would have
God.
wanted. I'm honoring his last wishes that
Such
were
a good
unspoken
fellow.
but understood, and I just fling him into a tree.
You go and you try to grab him. You realize it's much more difficult because he's not fully in
really
one piece
stuck in
anymore.
there.
So
So
you're
just
like,
a chunk of it comes out. Oh, no.
You just take a chunk and you throw him out. Oh my god. Okay.
It's the thought that counts. Remember this forever.
picturing.
goodness.
Okay. All right. Anything else you guys want to do? You have a couple seconds here.
If it's only a couple seconds, then we're probably running.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just run. Do you run back out the way you came? Do you run deeper in? Do you try to, you heard Saguenay kind of reference some sort of spot or whatever? She was pointing something out. Do you run in one of the directions? What do you think?
Yeah, we can run there, I guess, to recoup. I think there's a tree that was blocking our way to leave. Or...
Yeah. Furbrayne kind of splintered some of it, but yeah, if you want to run in the direction of where Saguenay is pointing, I'll say you can, because she's up there kind of directing you. Saguenay, you're still up in the tree. But the rest of you, I'll say Zara, Furbrayne, and Emmett, you make it over and you see there is this, what looks like it looks like a child's playground. It definitely has little rides here and there, and you can also notice that there are smaller little animatronic dinosaurs that are on their sides, clearly not functioning anymore. Some of them have been taken apart. You can see like in pieces, and you do notice that there is like this series of like 3 container crates linked together, creating some kind of offices of play. Do you go inside?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. It's one of those things where I was waiting for an answer from someone. When you go in, you can see hiding in the corner. Chuck, who do they see hiding in the corner of this place?
You see Axel, the Tolotl, a Tolotl survivor, and technician. Real good at fixing things. Real sneaky.
Yeah.
Also terrified.
What does he look like? What do they see?
He is your average small mechanical grease goblin. I am wearing dirty blue overalls. I've got my giant heavy wrench in my back pocket, covered in grease, got goggles on, and I'm also wearing a maintenance suit. And I gotta figure out what armor does now.
Okay. I think it's a flat. I think it's flat reduction.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's right. Okay. It's in the primer I wrote up.
Yeah.
Okay. So you come in, you see this Tolotl, who looks very frightened, very afraid, a little bit worse for wear. You just lost Calcanus. Saguenay is hiding up in a tree, and you hear like some weird roar behind you in the trees. What do you guys do?
You know how to turn off these things?
No.
Okay.
It's kind of good news, bad news. The good news is the really big one. We already took it down. So that means there's only the other giant one coming for us right now. But mostly we're good.
Does this room connect to anywhere else that we know of?
Axel, you would know that there are basically 3 of these containers that connect to each other. One of them seems to be like some sort of like check-in area where like kids come, or like parents come and drop their kids off for like a after school kind of or after work kind of daycare kind of situation. One of these containers is like executive offices, and you know that one of these containers is very technical. Like maybe you've been trying to get in there, but you can't quite get in there because like the container's been crunched, and you need somebody big and strong to maybe help you crawl in there. If anything would have controls for these creatures to get them to power down and stop roaming, it has to be in there. You just haven't been able to break into it yet.
Yeah, we need to get in here, but it's been smooshed, so I haven't been able to get in yet. And sadly, my wrench won't do it, and my flamethrower has been ineffective so far.
Okay.
Do we have like hand comms or radios or anything? Like, is there way for me to get in touch with Saguenay?
You guys, I have no problem with like you guys having comms to communicate. You're a team who works
comm
together.
We do.
Headset
I have a comm.
on for sure.
I have.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
did too.
gonna call for Saguenay and be like, we found someone down here.
Hello.
So what Saguenay would like to do, so Saguenay has a flashlight. So Saguenay would like to use the flashlight to basically try to make a diversion. So she's in a tree. Her friends are over here. The thing is running, so she wants to try to throw the flashlight in the opposite direction to try to give herself some time to be able to get to where
I think
everybody
I've
else
seen
is.
this in a movie
I think it worked for Dr. Malcolm.
It did for the T-Rex, but Melissa would notice it's a Stegosaurus that's approaching, which is totally different.
That needs
but
to
I don't
become
know
our
if
new pet
Saguenay.
right now.
Okay, so Saguenay, you throw away your flashlight. So go ahead and get rid of that from your character sheet. So you throw your flashlight and you try to like scramble across the branches, climb down, and get to them. Give me a physical test to do that, and you know what's going to happen if you roll a crit fail.
Oh, fall.
Yeah.
So physical is a D6 for me.
Sure. D4 or difficulty of 4 is fine.
Okay.
If you have any other equipment that would help you climb down, like a rope or some cables or something, you might not even need a roll. But without that,
I have a comm headset and a stim cocktail.
yeah, I think the stim cocktail might actually hurt you in this situation.
But just for the heck of it, I am wounded. So I'll roll a D6 and a D8.
That sounds good to me.
What I have a field medic thing. It says medkits cause no stress. Is that specifically medkits, or is stim cocktail something different?
Yeah, they're different. So the stim cocktail.
Yeah, so stim cocktail deals a damage to heal stress.
So 1 body damage to heal 1 stress damage. Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
I rolled 2 2s.
2 2s it is. Then you are like Tarzan or Jane or some other creature of the jungle, as you are able to, with surprising ease. Maybe it's just the Nephilim in you. I know you don't have tentacles and things like that, like a Tenebrous would, but you are just swinging through here with total ease. And the rest of you inside of this control container, you hear thump. As Sagane, you're able to fall down from one of the branches onto the top of this sort of container control center, scramble around, and you see there's a hatch, a ceiling hatch you can climb down in, all in one swoop with your critical success. You move with great speed. The creature doesn't seem to have paid attention to you. Maybe it went after the flashlight, maybe it didn't, but it certainly didn't go after you, and it's well away from you now, as you have now fallen into container with the rest of them. And you see this scared and really messed up looking Tolotl.
Oh.
And so the Tolotl just sees this emissary Nephilim just sort of jump in, get her feet situated, puff her hair a little bit. How very nice to meet you.
Wait, okay.
Like, it's way too formal of a greeting for the fact that, like, we're about to die. And then she will sort of look around. Calcanus?
He died as he lived, fighting dinosaurs.
Oh. Oh, no.
Yeah, he didn't.
I'm sure
Yeah,
he
very
died
sad.
very happy.
We should not meet the same fate. How do we turn these damn things off?
So I've got an idea. This is where they dropped off kids, right? They might have had metal detectors to make sure no nonsense happened here, right? We take those things, they're normally pretty tall, and then we rip them, turn them sideways into the next room, and then we clink them up, and we just have to push the roof back up so that you little green man can get in there and do your science stuff.
I like science.
Me too.
Furbrayne, that sounds absolutely brilliant. I'll say, give me a mechanics roll for this. I'll say, like, you're gonna. This is so. Go ahead. It's D4 mechanics rolls. Brilliant idea. Is anyone wanting to assist, combo, teamwork? Don't forget about those. If you still have those die.
I can
available.
combo.
Okay.
Yeah, I can help. I have a D6 on mechanics, so I'm happy to help.
If I combo, does he use his positive drama die?
It's
the thing is,
you.
I've already used my combo dice. Like,
So
okay.
all we need is one.
I'm okay if
person
somebody
to
else
roll.
takes my brilliant
Yeah.
idea and runs with it.
You could supervise and just direct
Yes.
people for what to do. You're too intelligent to be dirtying your hands.
I'm just going to
with
sit
this.
back here and open up my flask. No, actually, I still have 2 bottles of booze. I'm going to open up my second bottle of booze. You knock over that over there. You prop that up over there.
Yeah, I can combo that then. You said it was
right.
mechanics.
Mechanics would be ideal, yeah.
Mush.
Okay.
You're trying to
Two-
manipulate the
two
machinery here,
D6.
essentially.
2 3s.
That's a critical
What?
success.
Hell yeah.
That
I
is-
thought it was
Wow.
brilliant.
And Furbrayne's not wrong. I don't know why you guys don't listen to him more often. As you're able to move it,
It's so dumb.
you leverage it, and it kind of pops up, and you can see like the strength of this heavy-duty metal detector is apparently enough to prop the metal of the container, the SynthSteel container, and you see the dent come back up, and now suddenly there is an opening where if you wanted to crawl inside, think of it like it's an M, right? It's now that M, the centerpiece of the M, that pinch is now up high enough that you all could very easily crawl underneath it to the other side.
I do. I don't wait for the rest of these strangers. I just go in.
Come scrambling through, and and I'm sorry, that's insensitive of me.
Oh,
That's insensitive of me. Replacement for Calcanus. You
Axel.
notice. I wrote it down. I just wanted to mock. So you crawl underneath, and you do see that there are all these terminals that you imagine are sort of controlled, because there's no way, safety procedure, no way they would let these things just move around on their own. Someone has to be monitoring this. It just looks like you got to kind of get in there a little bit. So what would you like to do there, Axel, to try to shut these things down?
I would like to crawl under one of these consoles and use my electronic skills to just shut everything down.
All right. I don't see any reason why that won't work. Go ahead. So honestly, if you're just gumming up the works, is it all you're basically doing?
Yes.
Okay. I don't even think you need to roll for this.
No,
You
Jeff,
got in
I
here.
do.
Okay. You need to roll for this, Axel.
Listen, I got all my dice have reset. I've got so many drama dice.
That's a fair point. Man, the wires and the various boards down here, it's so complicated. Hopefully you can figure it out. Go ahead and roll electronics there.
Here we go.
TN6.
That's a D12 and a D10. Both of them are over.
Okay, buddy.
Wow.
So you get in there, and like a wizard, you just start rerouting some power, pulling out the right board, sliding a different board into the other board. It's that classic thing in Star Trek where they pull out one thing and put it elsewhere, and all of a sudden stuff happens, and you guys hear outside, any of you that are by a window or a door, you just hear a thump, 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 as one by one, all of the remaining animatronic dinosaurs that are out there in this lush jungle have gone inert and probably fallen over at the same time. You have shut them down, Axel.
That would be $20.
There are some people in the treehouse out there that have $20. They owe it to us for saving them from the
Noted.
T-Rex.
Oh, speaking of, we should go.
How about instead of $20, we cut you in on our mission here, which is we're looking for a Kaltoran named Jacob Flint and many other things. But
Wait. Isn't that guy named he's like Gene Leg Fat Bottom or something like that?
probably.
I hate that guy. I'm in.
All right.
Okay. So you guys you head back out. You brave the jungle once more. All right.
We do.
Sagane, you critically succeeded to move around and navigate. You probably kept your bearings. You know which way to go. It is much easier to traverse now that you don't have these massive creatures lingering around. But nonetheless, the vegetation is drastically overgrown. You don't even really feel the ground anymore because you're just stepping on vines and roots and dirt and sort of fallen leaves from above. And you can't even really feel the metal if there ever was any. And it's just completely overgrown. And you eventually find the base of this gnarled citrus tree. And the base it looks relatively easy to climb until you get up into the branches, which just opens up like a hand to the sky, and it kind of goes off in all these different directions. You can see smashed giant citrus fruits on the ground here and there, and you know it's up there somewhere. So who's climbing up?
Wait, what are we getting up the tree?
That's where we think he is. We think he's hiding up there.
Oh, I got this. Don't worry. As I pull out my rocket launcher.
What?
Hell yeah.
What?
Of course you have a rocket
Oh
launcher.
my god! Wow.
Okay.
Because I got
Okay.
one free roll on the fancy loot, and I rolled max, so that I got
God
one free
dang
roll
it.
on the exotic table.
Hell
Okay.
yes.
Wow.
Okay. So many ideas and
Saganay
just no.
looks down at her fusion pistol, looks at your weapon.
So small by comparison.
It's okay.
puts
It's
hers
not
away.
a competition.
It's
So
not
you-
compensating for anything.
Oh goodness. Okay, you only have one rocket. You have one ammo. You
I
want to
do.
use it for this? Okay.
Yes.
No roll necessary. You fire it up into the tree. It explodes. Branches fall down left and right. All these things just start raining. You all get smashed and coated by all this different citrus. And then you hear a thump. And you see it laying on the ground, covered now in smashed citrus and trees, is a middle-aged Kaltoran man who looks extremely surprised to be here. Oh, what the? What, oh my goodness. Hey, what was that? Yo, hey, now, there ain't no reason to be pointing them there guns. Everything's fine. What you? How you doing? Hey, good job with the dinosaurs. Hello. Hey, I ain't got no weapons, so you can put yours down.
What is your name?
Oh, me, my name is Henryford Chevrolet. Pleasure to meet you. You can call me Henryford. It's fine.
Gotcha.
I like-
Can somebody pull up a picture of who we're
Yes,
after
there
here?
pulls up pictures.
Yeah, I do as well.
So this looks exactly like Jacob Flint, except with a very well-groomed and pointy goatee. And you can tell that he also has like smashed citrus on him. But otherwise, he looks exactly like Jacob Flint and manly
This is
plump
a
bottom.
fake goatee, and I'm gonna run up
What?
and rip his goatee off.
And you pull on, he's like, oh, geez, oh, what are you doing? And it's not a fake goatee. He's like, oh, I paid good money for that. What are you doing? Oh, goodness. And eventually you yank a chunk out of it, and now he's got like a bald spot right in the middle of his chin.
Look.
And you have a chunk of hair
It's
and
fake.
roots in him.
I'm gonna save that for later.
So
What are you
I would
doing?
like to just make something very clear. One of my very best friends, his head is stuck inside the gears of a dinosaur over there.
Oh,
And that
I've
makes
been
me
there.
very sad. And he was like family. And you
Yeah.
are worth money. But also, I'm very sad. And there's a part of me that wonders what your head would look like if I pushed it through those same gears.
Hey. I didn't put your friend's head inside gears. I didn't do nothing like that. I'm very sorry to hear that. I mean, that's how my grandmother died, you know, so I completely understand. You have my condolences, sir.
Oh, man.
You want to help? You want to help getting the body out of here? I'm more than happy to give you a hand. No problem.
That sounds good. We all go together?
Is it over here? I'll go get it. You guys go ahead. You guys
No,
look
no,
like
no,
you have
no,
a
we're
little
not
bit
stuck
of
We're
together.
not going anywhere.
No.
What?
No.
Oh,
You're not
hey,
going
we get with the
anywhere.
guns. We're still doing the guns thing.
No.
Oh, that's interesting.
Still doing the guns.
Yes.
Wow, that's curious.
You should come with us.
You are coming with
you
us. It's not a
pissed
should.
off
It's
a
a no. You
lot
are.
of people.
Me? What are you talking about?
A lot of people.
I've
I
watched
didn't
a
piss
lot of
anyone.
documentaries on war crimes.
What? I didn't do no war crimes. War crimes?
pulled
We
out
talk
a
about war
flamethrower.
crimes. You fired a rocket up at an orange tree. Who's talking about war crimes now?
I have a flamethrower.
Listen, this clearly seems like a misunderstanding. I think you have me confused with somebody. I had one of them faces. That's what it is. So
I like
So-
to think Emmett is like toggling on and off the display of his face, like exactly
Oh, wait.
over.
yeah, see that guy looks just like me. Look at that. But as you can tell, I have this patch of hair, a few hairs less on the chin. But I have that here, which is totally different. So you can clearly see we're different. You know, hey, that's kind of
Just stop
racist if you
talking.
think about
Just-
it. Y'all think all
stop.
Kaltorans look the same? What do you think? Me and her look the same too? Oh, look at y'all. All you should all be the same as yourselves. What it is.
Just stop talking.
Holy shit, are
Stop
you
talking.
two siblings?
Hey,
Are we siblings?
is your last name Chevrolet?
Could be.
Well, looky here. Oh, cousins at least, right? Cousins at
Oh,
least.
we should turn him in. Then I can
What?
just by other cousins.
Whoa,
I like that
hey, turn me into what? Turn me into what? Like it's like a magic trick?
Money.
What are we talking about?
We turn you when we
Barbecue.
get money.
You want to turn me into money? Wait, he wants to turn me into barbecue. I'm getting mixed signals here,
rich
fellas.
People very angry.
Listen, you all seem...
very rich.
But the worst
You all
thing is making people that didn't have money angry and taking the little money that they did have, and that is upsetting.
What are you talking about? I didn't do none of those things. Listen, you all seem like you have some different ideas about what to happen here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to step over here, let y'all talk amongst yourselves, and you guys
No,
can
you're
figure
not.
out what you want to do.
No, you're not. You're not going anywhere.
Again with the guns. Why do you keep pointing guns at? I ain't pointing a gun at you. Come on now.
You should shoot him just a little bit to show him we need.
Hey. None of that. You're not going to do that.
Shoot him just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
You want to shoot anybody, you shoot them cure folk down there. They're the crazies. They're the crazy ones. They're the ones doing all the awful stuff. Ain't me. I'm just hiding out. That's all I'm doing.
Saganay's gonna walk around behind him and hit him in the back of the head.
Okay, so you're gonna walk around behind him and you're gonna try to hit him in the head? Okay.
Yeah,
He's
so
like,
try to
hey,
knock
what you
him
doing
out.
back there? Hey. Okay, go ahead and roll an attack. Yeah, we'll just say, just give me a difficulty 4.
All right, I'm rolling a d6, so let's see
Okay.
how this goes.
All right.
Everybody else is gonna have my back if this doesn't work, right?
Hell yes.
I got my flamethrower ready.
I think there's just been a complete. I just think basically what's happened here is there's a big case of mistaken identity. It happens all the time. I am not whoever it is that you think that I am. Unless you think I'm Henry for Chevrolet, then I am. And if I did wrong you, I apologize. I very much apologize.
So Saganay walks around behind him. I rolled one singular dice and rolled a 1. So she comes up behind him and she kind of tries to hit him with it, but he's gesticulating so much while he's talking that she just whiffs.
And you whiff, and the force, the momentum, you slip on a big patch of smushed citrus, and you just kind of slip and fall. Oh, hey, you all right there? Here, let me get you up there. And he reaches down and kind of helps you up. Oh, you're right. Happens all the time. I fall over all the time.
Oh my
Gravity.
goodness. And who was it? Was it your aunt that had died from a dinosaur too?
I want
my
to make
grandmother.
sure he didn't.
Your grandmother. That is
Just-
what I've heard, that your people, sometimes you remember things that are not your own memories.
Yep.
And sometimes I wonder, maybe if you have memories like that where you remember other people's memories, maybe sometimes you try very hard to make yourself be somebody different so that you don't have to associate with the pain, because that must be such a terrible burden to have so many lives and so much pain and so much death and so much trauma. I can only imagine what it must be like to watch them be suffocated and burned and shot and stabbed, and it's like a lifetime of pain. And basically, I'm going to try and use psychology to just try and lull him into a sense of that Kaltoran depression based on remembering past trauma. Because I'm a good
Sarah
person.
also be very different.
It's suddenly tears starting to
he's
well.
completely oblivious to that.
Okay.
While you're doing this too, I want to make sure that he didn't try to grab Saganay's gun when she slipped.
Okay. So Furbrayne, give me someone with TN4. You're doing your
I've got psychology.
psychology. You said. I think that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I'll give it a try.
Emmett, just perception. Really, it would be good just to see if he did anything while helping her
It's a
up.
10.
10. I'm in his
Hell
head.
Wow,
And
10 on a
Sarah's-
D10. Nice roll.
Wow.
Great
Wow.
idea. Nice
It
roll.
must be
Sarah
so
looks
difficult to
ridiculous.
feel
I
all
haven't
that
seen my
pain.
brother in so long.
Yeah, that's.
And he'll just play off of her crying.
So he gets super to, you make a lot of good points there, little furry man. A lot of good points. We've had a rough history, haven't we, cousin? It's been a tough time for us, yeah. All right. You know what? You convinced me. I've been lying to y'all. I'm not Henryford Chevrolet. That's not my name. It's a good name, but it ain't mine. Yeah. My name is actually Raleigh. Raleigh Gear Thumper. Y'all know the Gear Thumper family. Yeah. And anybody
No.
who would like to could certainly roll a culture check to see if you recognize the Gear Thumper name.
As the technician, I think I am obligated to.
I got a 5.
Culture would be, culture would be the best, I think, in this case.
Roll the 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
I got a
just
5 on the
4.
culture, but I also got a 1 when trying to see if he stole Sagane's
Yeah.
gun.
As far as
I'm gonna
you're concerned, he
leverage
did.
lucky.
Everything's fine. He didn't take anything. He's good to go. Leveraging lucky. Dr. T. Not just Dr. T.
no.
Wrong game.
Axel,
God
I
dang.
got a 1 and a 4.
Okay. So that technically would be a failure.
Crit fail.
You still succeed, so technically it's a critical failure as well, so like a negative consequence. So, I'm trying to think. So you would probably... So those of you who passed, first of all, the Gear Thumper is a real Kaltoran fan. And I'll say that those of you who have passed would know that the Gear Thumper family, there are some very relatively well-known individuals like Elia Gear Thumper within the Liberty Belt, and you guys would know that the rumor is, at least a lot of the common rhetoric surrounding the chemical attack on this place, that it was done by Kaltorans as a response to like one of their holy sites effectively being destroyed in the Liberty Belt by Arc Founding, which is one of the major corps. But specifically, the Gear Thumper family is considered, at least by the Corp, to be the ones responsible for it. And so that's what you would know. I can't really think of anything good for the critical fair
I
option.
have a question, Jeff.
Yeah.
Slightly meta question.
Sure.
Was Arc Founding not the company that sent us after Jacob?
I don't know if I defined it specifically. I
Okay.
just said there
must be
there
thinking of
was a
something else.
bounty that was placed on him by multiple corporations. So you know that he basically
that's
had.
probably what I'm getting confused.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think I have the. Hang on, let me see what I had. So specifically, he overextended himself. He ran afoul of Arc Foundings, and apparently the story by Arc Founding is that he was like corporate espionage or something like that, and he has a bunch of stuff on various members of the board of management, which is like the head of the corp. And so yeah, that's essentially who put out the who put it out.
Thank you. I was just completing the two. Thanks.
Yeah. So I think the answer actually was somewhat yes. So they're the ones who put the bounty out. You're just taking the bounty. So you're not hired directly from them. Okay. So yeah, a few of you would know that. A few of you might not recognize the name. And so that's what he's like, listen, I'm gonna level with y'all. I am not who I said I was, and I'm not just hiding out here. It's not just random that I'm here. Y'all know what happened here, right? Y'all know the terrible attacks, the tragedies and such. And I'm sure I can see it on your faces. I can see it on your faces, right? Oh, at least on your face and your face. The wombat, I don't really know what to make of your face. But however, be careful, it might get stuck up there. Anyhow, common story is that it's my family's fault, but I can tell you with certainty that ain't the truth. That ain't the truth at all. You know, it was these cure folk. They did it intentionally. They got some new weapon that they wanted to test and such, and they had their laboratory, and one thing got loose, or that thing got loose, and suddenly it flooded the whole compartment, and they couldn't go ahead and do it. Their stocks would go down, you know? Like, all that would kind of, the board of management sure as hell wouldn't want one of their prize pharmaceutical corporations to suddenly, you know, have their stocks tank on them like that. And so what did they do? Well, what they always do. Corp blame Kaltoran. That's what they did. But I can tell you with certainty that there's evidence here that can prove that they're the ones behind it and not my family's. And I know it. It's in that lab. Now, you all look like good people. Except for you. The rest of you look like good people. And I know you want to do the right thing. So, you know, help me get in there and get that information so that we can bring it to light, and like we can show everybody of alabaster, just how terrible Cure is, and how the Corp and all their board of management bullshit has kind of done this all this time. Y'all with me? Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
No.
How full of shit is this
What?
guy?
What? Oh, hey now. That's insulting.
Hey, well, Furbrayne, I share your concern, but I wonder if perhaps there might be getting one up on folks with money, maybe in our best interest as well.
Oh, that's right. Sometimes we get money for this.
Yeah.
I don't feel like pissing off people that are willing to go through all
Hey.
these links. We got our
Hey.
bag. We got our guy. That's our payday.
We
Good.
could have something in the bag though next time we need a payday. We have information that we can cash in. Perhaps we can still turn them in.
I'm new
Well,
to
that's
the
a
group.
rumor we can sell to whoever wants to come back here. Because I don't want to be here any longer than we have to.
Listen, I'm new to the group. Do you all respect the sanctity of the huddle? Not you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Crew's got a huddle. I get it.
Yeah.
I'll just wait over
All
here.
right, let's huddle up.
We're
I
gonna.
don't want to huddle with.
Let's
You can
huddle.
watch him, and
He's
we'll
just
huddle.
got to run away.
We'll do a
I'm right here,
semi
we're
huddle.
talking
That
about.
way someone can keep an eye on him.
Emmett, you
There'd be
can
like
keep
a
an eye
weird telekinetic link to his belt buckle.
Don't go too far. It's like the little thing when mothers have toddlers. They don't really feel like paying attention to them, but they don't want them to run too far. That's how I feel about
gotcha.
you.
Listen, I want to do right by y'all, so I'm just going to go ahead and let y'all talk. I'm going to stand right here. You can see me. Here I am. See? Right here. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So, here's what I say.
Yes.
We help him. We go find the evidence. He gets the evidence. And then we take it from him. And then we turn him in for his bounty.
And then we
we
shove them in
have-
the gears of the dinosaur.
Is the bounty dead or alive?
I don't know. I don't
doesn't
like to
specify.
read.
Doesn't specify.
Okay, I'm fine with that. And then-
I've only known you for like 20 minutes, Green Man, but I like you.
I like you too. And I also like that as a wombat person, I really appreciate that your poops would be good for like Minecraft. Because they're cubes.
I've
As
never
we
played
all
that game,
learned
but you're
wombat
probably
facts.
We recover all the data and we
Yes.
steal it and then we go and we bury it. Because if we go and try and sell the data back to the people that it would hurt, then they'll just buy it and then kill us and then take their money back. But we could use it as a get out of jail free card for in the
Yes.
future.
Yes. Always good to have secrets in your back pocket.
Yes.
I see no reason to leave this here. It would be a waste to leave it here. It would be a shame to leave it here. Why
That's
would you
right.
leave
We bury
such
it with our
rich
friends'
information
bones.
right there? Well, I'm sorry, Wombat. I didn't catch that.
If we're going to bury it, can we bury it with our friend's bones? So that like
Not
he's
literally
protecting
bury
it? I mean, yes.
We're figuratively burying it. We take the data and then we hide it somewhere that only we know, but not like physically in the ground. Like,
Oh, yes, I knew that.
I knew you did. I just wanted to make sure that the Palantor knew it. Because they're,
Yes.
you know,
Because robots have silly ideas.
they do. Very silly.
I meant, it seems that we shouldn't pass this up. 2 for 1 job.
Yeah. I want to ask. What did you say his name is? He said his name is Raleigh.
Raleigh Gear
Yes.
Thumper.
Raleigh.
Hey, Raleigh, you think your family's willing to pay more than what your bounty is?
Well, that's an interesting question. Pay, as in they could make an exchange. But if you're looking specifically for corp credits, that's not quite something that they regularly trade in. But that doesn't mean we can't find something of suitable value to exchange.
Hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we went
I don't
that
know.
route, Mr. Palantor, that means we would have to trade over the corp credit. That way we can account for our personal time used to exchange those goods for corp credits.
I just don't like making very angry, powerful people that are willing to blow up this space station, like,
Listen.
mad at us.
They don't know we have it. It's a secret to everyone. But one day, when we piss them off in the future, we can say, let us give you this information. Please ignore the thing we did to piss you off.
At this point, I like to think you guys are still in the
Yeah.
huddle, but he's joined you, and he's like, "That's a
Yeah,
good point.
he's part of the
That's a
huddle
good
now.
point." Little guy,
Sarah?
little guy. He's got a shrewd mind. I like it. It's good.
Yeah.
Are you on board, Sarah?
Anything we can do to mess with the board management, I'm always on board for it.
That's right, cuz. That's right. Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, this is heartwarming. This is heartwarming. I thought I was gonna have to do this all by myself.
Yes.
It's
Do you have any connections
We're
with like
family.
production or movies or anything like that?
wait, what kind of protection?
Like videos or movies or things like that?
Like, what do you mean? Like, I could protect against videos and movies?
No,
and
he said
No.
production.
I would like to do a video that memorializes our friend defeating a dinosaur.
I do have my hands in a significant amount of businesses. I am a bit of an entrepreneur. Most recently, I picked up a business, Zatek's business. Have you all heard of this? New up and coming. It's pretty great.
that
It has. It's kind of an odd name. I know it's kind of to the point, but that one, it's skyrocketing up the stocks. I gotta tell you, I did.
Octanto Corp. That's what it is.
Who's the
I
owner
mean,
of that
it's the
business?
next Octanto. That's what it's going to be, right? Yeah, it's going to be all like replacement limbs and stuff. You know, the CEO. I'm just a CEO whisperer. The CEO, he's really like he's the brains behind the operation. He's got all sorts of great ideas. He's really kind of motivated, you know, to make a change. Like I've been kind of throwing out some potential slogans. We build bodies, so you don't have to. Does that sound pretty good, right? I know that's not your answer, but what I'm saying is like we can use some of the capital that we get from Zatek's business and from some of this corporate espionage stuff that y'all plan to do, and we can then use that as seed money in a film production company. I do know a handful of, honestly, wonderful socialites. There's this amazing up-and-coming one called Infernal Vanilla. I tell you, she is just the most talented there is.
I watch her
you know?
videos. They're really good.
Yeah, some people say
I
Divine
love
Mocha,
Infernal
but that's so last year, you know? Like, I'm all about projecting to the future, you know?
Yes. So you're saying we build a new body to be like a puppet of Calcanus, and we film the meat puppet fighting the dinosaur and make a movie.
It's like you read my mind. Are you reading my mind there, little man?
Yes.
Oh, you be careful up there. There are a lot of really dark memories. Like, you don't really
Yes.
don't go
You
back too
shouldn't
far.
think that about your father.
But well, I mean, I just wanted him to say he was proud of me just once. Just once. Was that too hard?
I'm gonna
Apparently.
give him a hug, and I'm gonna let him
Yo.
like, I am proud of you.
Thanks there, little
But
guy.
your
Thanks
father
there.
wasn't.
No, he wasn't. You're absolutely right. He was a real son of a bitch. Yeah.
My friend is
Yeah.
dead because of you. It's okay.
What?
He wasn't
You
my
know-
friend, so I don't hold that against you.
That's why we're getting along so well. That's what it is. We
That's
don't
it.
got that baggage. Yeah.
No
yeah.
baggage.
Okay. Good. All right. So we're all on board. Go team. We're gonna take down
Go
the
team.
Cure Labs. We're
I
gonna
want to
get
do
that.
one last social test on him. See if I'm mainly concerned about his story about the framing of the Kaltorans and all that, and
Sure.
'cause he definitely gives off the vibe of just he will say anything.
How dare you? What are you trying to say? Okay. So what are you
he's
trying to?
definitely lying, but I don't even. I'm like, yes, this is absolutely right.
Can we help
Are you-
each other with this at all?
Are you trying to do like the interpretation, like the equivalent of an insight check?
Yeah,
So you're trying to see if he's lying?
yeah.
Psychology, maybe.
I'd say social, psychology.
So
I
I've
would put
used
it
my
in
teamwork,
D6.
but have you used
he's
your
a-
teamwork?
He's pro grifter.
I have a
And-
D10 in deception.
I want to say, you have a D10 in deception.
Does
I
deception?
mean, that's more about lying to him
Check
as
deception?
opposed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's more about lying to
Yeah.
him than trying to read if he's lying
Oh,
to you.
that's fair.
I want to see if we should go all in on his plan.
Okay.
Oh, pull it out the
all-in drama
D20.
dice.
Wow.
Oh, man.
TN6. TN6. This guy is. This guy's pretty good.
Oh,
Give it a roll.
come on, Joe.
Great. Let's do. And I've only got a D4, but with the drama dice.
The trauma dice could do it. I mean,
Good.
really good chance.
Oh dear.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
3 to 1.
Oh, God.
Critical fail and a critical fail. I'll tell you
Oh, my
this.
God.
You've never been more sure about someone in your entire life.
Use a
Like
point of
at
grit.
first,
We got to do it.
At first, it was like, whatever. But now, I mean, what a tale. What a tale. It's
Now
heartbreaking.
that I've had a bit to think it over, I'm in.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, I'm so glad. So glad you're in. This is
Oh.
going to be. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do
So-
this.
We ready? Go team. All right. Guys got like a weapon for me or something so I can back y'all up?
You can borrow my rent. Oh, I bet your dead friend had weapons on him. Here, he
No.
wasn't my friend. I will go get you the AR Gauss rifle that he had on his body and
Wow.
That
happily
would be
give it
very
to
useful.
How did you know
That would
about
be
that?
useful.
Okay. So, do you guys work your way out of here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you work your way out of
Yep.
here, and you do you recover the Gauss rifle from?
you. Yeah, I'll gladly
body?
loot that
Okay.
big guy's
I'm all in.
corpse.
I totally believe Jacob Flint.
Do you give? His name is Raleigh Gear Thumper.
Or Raleigh,
do you do you give him a weapon?
Hmm?
Okay. All right. You give him the Gauss rifle.
Yes.
Other people can contradict what Chuck said.
Nah, I trust him now.
All right, so he
Let's
takes
go
his-
get the evidence.
He gets the Gauss rifle. Giddy up, let's go get him. Yeah. All right.
Oh, I thought
So-
Axel was getting the Gauss rifle.
No, we're giving
No.
it to the guy who's going to shoot us.
No, no.
I don't need a Gauss rifle. I have a flamethrower.
He has my unwavering support at this point.
I would like to make something
He has
very
a
clear.
Kaltoran friend with a Gauss rifle.
Oh man.
If in any way I do not feel happy about the way you are assisting in this with this, your new inheritance will be delivered to you in a suppository form.
Suppository.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You're
Yes.
threatening me. Yeah, I got you. Understood
Yes.
there, Chief. No problem.
Okay.
Listen, man, we're on the same side now. We're on the same side. All right.
Partners.
So, so basically, he wants you guys to go to the Cure Lab hospital that's at the center of this sector. Now, you all have peeked at it before, but you haven't fully. You went down like partially down the passage that connects some of the residential neighborhoods to the hospital, but you never actually fully went in there. You did see like there was a chem squad, like a big legion, and a couple other folks that were kind of dragging a body or two, but you never actually fully went over there. So from where you're at, I showed you the little map I drew. So you could either head back to the residences, you could either head over to the mineral processing plant, or you can just from here, there is a passage that goes directly to the hospital, which is a centralized location.
Straight to the
vote
hospital.
Straight there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Seconded.
What is the worst
All right.
yet to happen? Yes.
Okay. All right, let me scroll up. Okay. So you guys navigate your way out of the out of the jungle here, no problem. All of these animatronics are now inert, no issues whatsoever. And you do make it back towards the passageways. You instead going back the way you came, where you found the dead bodies of those bounty hunters. You instead take the passage that you can see march towards like this Cure hospital facility, and it's described as like a clinic, as a hospital clinic. Now, the path down here isn't too, like, it's certainly not too difficult, but it is sort of flickering every now and then. And you can see that some of the advertisement glass that you've seen before is fractured. Others is still, there's still like residual power that you can see is coming through it. And so you've got these like zoetrope flickering kind of effect happening of these rideable dinosaurs. You see kids with smiling faces drawn like chibis. Like there's a Kaltoran chibi, there's a Palantor chibi, there's a bunch of Corp chibis and stuff like that, and even 1 or 2 Legion chibis and stuff, all riding these different dinosaurs and things like that. And you even hear this little jingle that happens behind it, kind of fading out. Eventually, though, you do notice that the elevation changes, in that you can see that there are like escalators that aren't functioning right now that seem to descend down to a different terrace on which this hospital presumably sits. The escalators aren't functioning. It looks like whatever kind of like Liv was sort of in functioning is no longer working. You can see it's like the shaft for it is just absolutely crunched. All the while, you have been noticing like damage and signs of death, and you can definitely see that there is this buildup of that chemical fog in the air. So, who do we think is like taking point, so to speak, as you approach? Okay, not Axel.
Not me.
I can take one.
Okay. All right. So Zara, you get up in front, and what you see from a distance, as you're peeking through, as you guys climb down the inert, escalators, and then you eventually come to this arced opening, where there's all this different signage, this old signage pointing to the Cure Labs, but now you see there's a whole messload of graffiti that has been smeared over top of it, and a lot of it's like referencing like "Don't go this way is death," that kind of stuff. And you see that there is a building. It's about 3 stories high. It's freestanding, and it looks to be at this major intersection. But you also notice that there is a like containment fencing that's wrapped around it, like the entirety, or at least the sections that you can see. You obviously can't see to the other side of the building, and you can tell from where you're sitting, there is a bottlenecked entrance, like a checkpoint, to get beyond that fencing and then into the hospital that is currently manned by 2 Legion personnel. And then I'll say that, and that's what you see easily. Zara, if you want to give me like a perception test to see if you notice anything else. So
4.
D4. 4 is all you need. 4 is fine. So you would also notice that there are a few spherical drones that are flying overhead, and you can see like they're flying at about the 2nd story to 3-story level. They're not higher than the hospital, but they're certainly higher than the 1st story. And you can see that they're spinning around, flying overhead, and you can tell that they're effectively shining lights here and there, like just kind of looking, because otherwise it's a very dark chamber with the hospital itself like this big beacon in the center of it. And then with a 4, you would also notice that there's you're probably looking at it from an angle where you can see on the left-hand side of the hospital is where that checkpoint entrance is. The right side looks to be the back of the hospital. And you can see there's all sorts of vats that are behind the fencing. And these vats are huge. They're like the size of like an above-ground swimming pool, but much taller. And there's at least a half a dozen of them back there. And that's what you see, Zara.
I see into the vats? Like,
Not from
like glass?
Not from this distance. They're not glass. No.
I'm gonna point all of that out to everybody, especially the 2 Legion Guard.
Okay, so all of you now see it.
Doesn't seem like we want to go in that way. I'm up for zigzagging between vats.
Yeah.
What's this evidence we're looking for look like?
Okay, so they've got all sorts of databases up in that they've been using to study the various effects of the chemical weapons that they've been using. And so all we got to do is get into them localized databases, get all that data collected, And we got like liquid gold there, or data gold. We got a lot of stuff. We got we got stuff. That's what we want.
A golden shower of riches. Understood.
This guy gets it.
Okay. They look like the Legion. Were they carrying grenades on them?
From this distance, you don't know if they're carrying grenades. It's too far to really see if they have it, but it's not a bad assumption. The Legion tend to be fairly well armed, but with a 4, you do notice that they seem to be carrying. Yeah, they got like Gauss rifles and things like that.
Yeah,
I'd be wary of setting off explosives
They
around
are
these bats.
definitely well armed.
Oh, that's a good point. I was about to say if they had grenades, I wanted to set them off from a distance. But that might be a bad idea.
I don't know what's in the vats. So, yeah. Might be.
What
not a
could
good
be in
thing.
the vats here?
I can try to stealth around and see if I can make a path in the back.
Sure.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give us that stealth roll.
Rolling
Difficulty
a singular
difficulty
D10.
5.
Oh dear.
There are some drones overhead, shining random lights all over the place.
Okay, just gonna roll it a straight D10.
All
I'm
right.
gonna get a 3.
Okay. So this isn't going to be like an immediate discovery, but what it will do is essentially tick a clock for your discovery. So I'm going to put your discovery clock. It was at 4. We'll say that ticks down to 3. You watch as Saguenay tries to essentially scramble from the entrance, from the passageway into this location, across this like dead, no man's land, and get to the back of the hospital without being seen. But she does, it looks like, at one point stumble, and you do see like one of the Legion guards go, "Huh?" And like you see his head like looks up, and he looks, and then he does something on his arm, and you see, looks like it's retasking one of these drones. This starts moving over in Saguenay's direction. So you're able to scramble up, and you're able to get behind the like into the vat area. I'm gonna say take a stress damage for this, as you know that they're actively searching for you, as there is now a drone that seems to be moving about in between these vats, looking and shining the light down. All of you can see that happen too, but at a certain point you lose sight of her. Okay, what are the rest of you doing?
Wave goodbye.
Bye.
Like, well, she looks good.
Step 1, send Saguenay in. Step 2, Step 3, profit.
Gotcha. So that was stealth, right?
Yeah, that was her stealth.
Yeah,
anyway.
I was thinking I'd follow the path that I can see. If I can see her having started somewhere.
Okay, so you want to try to follow her? You want to do your own like stealthy run to those vats? Okay, same deal. Give me a stealth. It's a difficulty of 5.
I'll be doing the same.
Okay. Yeah, anybody who wants to do it, make that stealth roll, and let me know how you do. And is anyone hanging back? Is anyone not racing in? Or sneaking in?
I'll hang back. I'm still...
Okay.
Do we know exactly where this database room is?
Be like, I'm pretty sure. 3rd floor. I done some scoping out, and I'm pretty sure that's where it is. I think the first 2 levels are more like laboratories and offices and things like that. 3rd floor is where all the executives are, Okay, so I want to say Dr. G because that's what's rolling in Foundry, but Axel rolled a 6.
Yep.
You make it across. You are now in that rear section of the hospital amongst the various vats, and you make it across without alerting the Legion guards, without alerting any of the drones flying overhead. Zara, how did you do?
6.
You too make it across, kind of both of you following the path laid out by Sanguinay. Furbrayne, how did you do?
I guess. Well, you know what? Actually, since she had failed it, I could roll a d6 because I'm not very stealthy.
Saganay did. Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Okay.
Yeah, Furbrayne's not stealthy.
All right. So the same thing basically happens as you're running across, and like you just step in the wrong places. There's a lot of debris on the ground. You just kind of kick a few things. You make too much noise, and the Legion guys, you just keep hearing, and then suddenly another drone comes off in your direction. There's now 2 drones shining lights down on the area as Zara and Furbrayne and Saganay and Axel make it into the back by those vats. Go ahead and take a stress damage for a brain as you nearly get caught, and these things are like chasing down at you. That also is ticking, like I said, the clock down for discovery. And then Emmett, what about you?
I see all of them struggling, trying to get where they need to go, and everyone's gone except for me. So I think I want to do a sacrifice, negative die, and try and draw some attention to me.
Okay.
And book it a different direction.
Okay. So you can like maybe run towards one of the other passages, because there's a bunch of different passages that kind of converge on this central area. So give me maybe a physical to run fast, because you want them to see you, right? You're trying to make a distraction?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
Go ahead.
2d4.
All right.
I got a 4 and a 1.
All right. So I'm going to say that we're going to tick down 2 down to 1, which means that's the clock for them getting discovered. You're automatically being discovered, and you hear like one of the Legion kind of call out to you, like, "Hey, come back over here!" and starts racing after you. Want to like retask one of the drones to start following you, and because you've got the 1, which means the critical fail, the light shines over top of your head, and like there's like a spotlight following you as you start trying to make it to this other passageway. While that's happening, Raleigh Gear Thumper calls out. It's like, hey, Legion, there's a few more behind the vats. I just saw them run there. And then turns and runs back the way he came. And at this point, all of the drones suddenly retask and start shining the lights down on the vats. And you just hear all sorts of alarms start going off, one after the other, as everyone left him. And so he's booking it while you all are now trapped in the back. And you hear the sounds of like doors opening from behind the hospital, and you can see like thump, 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 thump. A couple more of these mercs start running out, and like you can see guns pointing, laser sights and stuff, and all of you are like crunched down, trapped by these vats. What would you like to do?
Us.
I mean, it was so easy. He was going to shoot you if you didn't run, actually. So it's probably better. At least you have a chance. Okay. So we're going to say, we're doing initiative things, sort of. 1 Legion and 1 drone drone's really just there to kind of, it's not really like a damage dealer. It's really just there as a sentry. 1 Legion is chasing after Emmett. There's another Legion guard that is by the front gate that is kind of going in this checkpoint, and then I'm going to say 2 more folks. We'll say not Legion, come out the back and are now like aiming guns and their laser sights and stuff, and you can all see the lights as they're now actively searching amongst the bats. Okay. None of you failed your stealth rolls, so they haven't technically seen you yet, but they think you're back here, and they're looking for you back here. So I'll turn it over to you guys. So Zara, Furbrayne, Saganay, and Axel, you are trapped amongst these giant vats. What would you like to do?
We're still basically aware. I think basically at this point, I would like to like focus on Raleigh as he tries to run away. I mean,
it's not try.
Focus.
He did. He ran away.
Yeah.
Like you guys left him. He turned around and ran. Like there's no.
Okay. I mean, if there's no chance to do anything, but if he was in visual range, possibly I had an idea.
You ran across with the others and stealthed into the vats. And everyone left him. I feel like everyone left him. If somebody was back there with him, maybe. But I think at this point, he's gone.
I'll leave it be. No worries.
Okay. All right. So you've got all these different guards slowing in. Yeah, go ahead, Zach.
I'd like to talk you into, if I could, a mechanics roll and reckless, because I'm just doing shit that I think will work. And I'd like to try and open up one of these vats and
Absolutely.
whatever the fuck is in there, have it spill out.
Go right ahead. Mechanics roll TN of 4. I don't really think there's it's not the most complicated device in the world. It's just a big old vat. You're just gonna try to undo all the as quick as you can.
I'm gonna add my reckless side to it because I want to see if I can get
Okay. Yeah.
6.
Okay. So this thing opens up, and as it does, you see this pool of goo just rolls out, and in it is all sorts of lumps of things that you realize are probably bodies or at least body parts of people that just floods down into the back of the hospital. And you can see that it just coats some of this. I'll say the 2 people that just came running out the back of the hospital, looking around here and there, they just get caught up in this wave of goo coming from the vats. And they shout out, and you can hear them calling into their comms, but they are essentially swarmed by this big wave. Okay. Who would like to do something?
Oh dear.
Fucking run!
I'm gonna sneak away.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna sneak away, or you're gonna run fast?
I'm gonna run fast. I got a point
Yeah.
speed. Let's use it.
Okay.
I already got one of your characters killed, Chuck.
Yeah, so they're actively looking for you. I'm going to say running fast will be a TN of 4. If anyone wants to try to stealth, I'm going to make it a TN of 6. Because it's going to be a little harder to kind of sneak away at this point. So go ahead and so if you're trying to run away, go ahead, Axel. Are you trying to run back the way you came? Or are you trying to run in the direction of Emmett? Or are you trying to run down a different another
Bring
path
it back
that
the
isn't
way
being
they
covered?
came. I turn around and I head straight back.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah.
How did you figure out your speed, Chuck?
What? Oh, I had a skill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it's under physical.
Yeah, so it's an 8.
Okay. You book it, and you start as this tank opens up, and Zara floods the back of the hospital as these 2 guards come rushing out and get completely consumed. You take that as an opportunity to run. One of the other 2 guards that were out here is already chasing Emmett. The second one is looking around, is hey, where are you going? And you hear the sounds of pew, pew, as the shots fired, but you're moving so fast, they're behind you. He misses you, and you make it back to where you were as you kind of backtrack and run back. All right. Who else is doing something here?
Okay, so clearly these people are yelling. They're like, "Hey, you, blah 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 blah," right? And there's all this creepy this goo, right? That might be bad stuff. I should clearly telekinetically fling the goo into their mouths as they're yelling.
Okay.
Gross.
Okay.
Clearly.
All right. Go ahead and as you're trying to do. So what skill are you trying to use for this?
I mean, I would like to use my telekinesis to fling the goo into their mouths.
I don't see any reason why that wouldn't apply. So yeah, let's do it. Okay. Is your telekinesis a skill roll? I keep forgetting. I'm sorry.
It is.
I shouldn't. Okay.
And I rolled a 1.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh.
Fortunately, it wasn't with any drama dice or anything, but it's still just
not a
abject
crit.
failure.
Right.
But
He's a little distracted because on one hand, he was thinking about how badly he wanted to try and make Kokonis' gun hit Flint in the face, but then he's like, he's out of I can't see him anymore. Maybe I'll just fling goo. He's kind of nah.
yeah,
And
split
you-
focus.
You go ahead and you toss your goo off in that direction, but it misses them as they're just getting up from having just been swept down by the wave of the vat, and you fling this stuff in their direction, and they both instinctively dodge. And what I'll say the penalty for this is that they're aware now of your location, and they're going to take a shot at you. Is what's going to happen is they see you're doing some weird thing with your head, and so they're gonna fire versus your absorb. So go ahead and roll an absorb test.
Okay. Yeah. Absorb. That is.
A D4 for you. Like it is for me.
Maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe
Do you have
I
anything
will
else to
get
roll with it?
lucky.
You got this. You'll be fine.
Oh,
You'll
lucky.
live forever.
Okay. Did you get doubles?
What the hell?
You
Holy
got
crap! Double
doubles.
fours.
What? Oh,
Here's
what?
what's gonna happen. They're firing at you, and you're like dodging, and you move in front of a different vat, and they fire and you dodge, and their shots, which miss you, explode a second vat, which erupts and blows down right on top of them, and a second wave. And so now they're coated, and the entire back of this hospital has basically got like 3 feet worth of medical waste back here that they are now stuck and covered under. And yeah, so you get away. You absolutely can dodge out of the way, and the two of them are completely out of the fight. There's still one more guard up front, and you never know who else is being contacted. Okay, beautiful. Okay,
Holy crap!
I'm gonna check in with Emmett, because Emmett, I think one of them is gonna try to fire at you as they're running. You have one Legion guy who's been chasing you down a different path. You have an option. You could have gone and started running towards the residences. You could have started running towards the mineral processing factory. It's up to you which way you might have gone.
Whichever way. So kind of what I was wanting to do is right after I started running is when we got betrayed by Raleigh.
What?
Who'd have thunk it?
Wow.
And this is like
So
a medical
strange.
place, so I'm wondering if there's some sort of like quarantine sort of thing that can be initiated that like locks down sections, and I might be able to trap him in here with us.
All right. Trap who and where?
All of us, including Raleigh.
Raleigh's
in
gone.
the same.
I know
wasn't
that
sure how
might
far
not
into
feel
this area that we
satisfying to
got.
you all, but he never moved into the central chamber. All of you left him, and so he just shouted and turned around and ran back up the escalator. So he's gone. So if you wanted to try to trigger something to like, I'm fine with you trying to go to a panel and try and like do something to like affect the situation.
I guess,
but
try and quarantine whatever the section that he ran into. Have that one.
Okay. That we can do. I think that he ran back the way you guys came, which would have been the hydroponics garden. So you could try to set a quarantine up to maybe have like an emergency shut between the passageway between the hospital and the hydroponics garden. So you might try to bring that down. See what I'm saying? So he wouldn't be trapped in the same chamber as you, but he would at the very least be trapped in that passageway, possibly.
Right.
I'm down for that. Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so you're running, and that means that you're going to stop, and you're going to try to engage with one of these kiosks or something like that you see all around.
And I'm going to throw my positive technology die on that as I'm trying to mess with the.
Okay.
The tech
this is going to result in
stuff.
him shooting you because the Legion has followed you shooting because you do stop to try and use this kiosk. But,
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been shot. It's not that bad.
All right.
Let's do D6, and I think it's D12. Yeah, D12. I got an 8.
8 is plenty. You hear everyone hears the sounds of various like warning systems come up, quarantine, like passageways being blocked. You hear the sounds of like bulkhead doors closing in this sector, that sector, which you would know is like by the hydroponics. So unless he's the fastest person alive, he's going to be trapped in that corridor between the hospital and the hydroponics garden. So if you guys can survive this, you know exactly where he's going to be. Okay. Now you're going to get shot. So go ahead and roll a defense against, I think it's absorb because they're using Gauss ARs. Yeah, absorb.
Absorb. Okay. Let's do
He's like, oh, what are you doing there? Stop it! Get away from that terminal! We're just trying to help you. We know you're infected. We're going to heal you. We're going to heal you real good.
With bullets. Yep. I got a 4. Yeah.
Okay. The kiosk, right as you hit the button and you hear the stuff go off, explodes as the rifle shot hits the kiosk, explodes, kind of sends you back a little bit, but you don't take damage. However, you and him are faced off against each other. The last of the, so there were 4 guards. There were 2 from the front, and there were 2 coming out of the back door of the hospital. One of the ones from the front was chasing Emmett. The other one is now kind of coming around to the back of the hospital looking for you all. The other two got completely demolished by two of these vats being opened up by Zara and by Furbrayne. So effectively, I think Zara has gone because she did her mechanics test. Emmett has gone because he hacked into the kiosk. Furbrayne, you tried to fling the things at their mouth. So I think, and then Axel ran back. Okay, so Axel, I'm gonna give you a choice. You see the bulkhead coming down. It's coming down right where the passageway opens up into this large hospital chamber. Do you want to be on the hospital side, or do you want to be on the passageway side?
Which, all of my new party is all on the hospital side. Is that correct?
That's correct. And Raleigh would be on the other side.
Your new buddy.
My new buddies. I'm gonna stay on the hospital side.
Okay,
I meant he's your new buddy.
Listen,
okay, so you do
the game going. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Then I think Saguenay, you're the only one who hasn't done anything. What would you like to do?
Saguenay would like to try to stealth backwards so that maybe she'll be in a position to take a shot next time.
Okay. Because two of them just got wiped out by this thing, I'm going to now lower what was originally going to be a 6 to try to sneak back. I'll just lower it down to a 4. So as you try to sneak back towards where Axel is that where you're going?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it. Without that last Legion who hasn't gone.
6 on a D10.
Okay, so you get back. This Legion then comes around. He hasn't gone yet. I'm gonna say he's got effectively 2 options between Zara and Furbrayne. So I'm gonna roll to see which one he fires at. It is going to be Furbrayne. Furbrayne, give me another absorb defense. As this guy comes around, he sees this freaking sea of chemical waste and medical waste on the ground. He sees his 2 fellow guards completely caught up in the slop. And there's this freaking Furbrayne, this little wombat remnant who's just kind of standing there right as the stuff sweeps out of this vat. Give us another absorb test.
Clearly, at this point, the only way to deal with the situation is just completely lean into it. That means to dive into the slop, diving in his direction, recklessly flinging more slop into his face.
Okay.
Reckless.
Give myself a positive D10.
All right. Go ahead, give that a roll. The danger is that you become stuck in this and probably can't escape. Okay. That is a fail.
That is a critical fail.
It is a critical fail. So you throw yourself into this muck, and as you start trying to fling it, you realize your body is becoming stuck and hardened to it as this mass begins to harden around you, maybe exposure to the air or something like that. You see the same thing is happening to those other 2 guards who came out the back. The 2 of them are submerged underneath it, and so they're effectively dying as they're being suffocated. Your head's at least sticking up above it, but you feel your body becoming encased in this slowly hardening gelatin-like mass. Okay. And not only that, but you're going to take a point of body damage because you got stuck, because that was on the defense for a shot. You take the body damage. So 1 body damage for the shot, and then the critical fail is that you are stuck. Okay.
Dark made a huge mistake.
New round. Axel and Saguenay are by the door that heads into the passageway that goes back to the hydroponics garden. Raleigh's probably trapped in that passageway. Emmett, you just got a kiosk next to you blown up by one of those Legion who is now holding a gun to you and is telling you to surrender. He's going to take care of you. He's going to fix you. That kind of stuff. And then Zara, you're the only one still in the back with the vats, and you can see Furbrayne is now essentially calcifying stuck within this now calcifying mass. Who does something here? Last round. This is it, and then we're ending. So make it good.
Try and get Furbrayne out.
Okay. So this is going to be, if you have an idea, give me an idea. Otherwise, it's going to be a strength. And I'm going to put it at a 6 because it was the result of a critical fail. So give me a strength. Unless you have another idea. If you have an idea, if you have equipment, if you have something.
Literally don't.
All right.
But you got drama dice left, right?
I do have drama dice left. So I'm gonna roll
This seems.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. What positive ones do you have left?
I have only lucky and combo. Oh, and teamwork. Actually, is there any way
Furbrayne.
this can be teamwork with Furbrayne?
Yeah, I mean, we'll say maybe one of his arms is free, and so maybe he's trying to pull himself out too. I'll give it to you. That's fine.
Sweet.
Okay.
No. Just no.
It's definitely an Artax moment for sure. It's definitely an Artax.
Crit success with 2 2s.
Okay. You reach down, you go to pull him. It feels like your arm's about to be ripped off, Herbert, but then suddenly your body comes loose and like you hear a pop as you come out from this like gel. And you guys realize if you don't get out of this fast, and I'll say with the crit, you're able to scramble away and get on kind of dry area. Okay. There is one Legion here who's going to take a shot. And I shot at Furbrayne last time, so I'm going to shoot at Zara this time. Zara, roll and absorb.
That is just a 3.
Okay, take 1 point of body damage as you're getting up from having just pulled Furbrayne out. You hear zzz, and then you feel the pulse as it kind of crashes into you. So take body damage. You okay? You still in the?
I'm at 3 body damage. I got
one more and you're down. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who's next?
Okay.
Covering
I
fire.
feel like we've gone through so much. We need to take something from this. There's all these vats of nonsense.
Mhm.
I do have pretty good science, which includes chemistry and genetics. Maybe I could try to make sure that I get a good sample of whatever this stuff is to take with us
Absolutely.
for later.
I would say you don't even have to roll for that because it's on you. You were just submerged in it, and so your clothes, your skin, your fur, all of it has like samples. So you get that. I would say no roll necessary. You have samples on you. You are the sample.
I am the sample.
Ew.
I will also crawl like an invalid child to try to get away from here.
Okay, and you're going back to, I'm assuming, Sanguine and okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna say then the Legion. There's only one other enemy. Is gonna take a shot at Emmett again. Emmett, roll and absorb as he's gonna shoot at you once more. I'm gonna say with the kiosk gone, this is gonna no cover or anything like that. This is just gonna be. And you hear the pulse gun comes on. 1 point of damage as you are hit.
Ouch.
Okay. Who's next?
I want to shoot back.
All right, go right ahead. What does your gun do damage against? What are you targeting?
Tactics with a micro rocket pistol.
Okay. That has a difficulty of 18.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Like I said, the prior, like there's always one that they're just really next to impossible to get. We can still roll like an out 20 or something like that. But like if you use a drama
Let
die.
me double check that it's actually tactics.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it is. It's the micro rocket.
The full
versus
rocket
tactics.
launcher is versus tactics.
You can always take a drama die,
micro is,
and maybe
yeah.
you get doubles. Everyone's been getting doubles tonight. So if you have a drama die.
Yeah, I'm
Here we
going to
go.
do the wounded drama die.
Okay. Maybe it's like the missiles just they move slowly and he just knows kind of how to move around or navigate or the time it and stuff. He just knows the weapon too well.
8 and a 3. So, nope.
Okay. It fires, there's some explosions here and there, but he as the sort of the smoke settles, you can see he's still there. He's closed right on top of you. He's got the gun on you, and he's pleading with you to surrender at that point because he doesn't want to kill you, and he's just holding this gun on you at this point. So Emmett is effectively captured at this point. So then it's going to come to so Saganay or Zara actually save Furbrayne. So Saganay or Axel.
Yep.
Get this door blocking your exit. You could try to like maybe do a mechanics roll or something like that to see if you can get the door to
Is there a
unjam it.
control panel? Next
Yeah,
to
there's
the
a
door?
control panel. It's a door. There's a control
Yeah.
panel right there, man. What, are you
I'll
blind?
use my turn throwing out an electronics test.
Okay.
Try and force that door open.
To force this specific door open.
Just
Go for it.
this door. Yeah. All right.
Are you Are you something dramatic?
No. I'm just gonna roll on.
You can teamwork it.
electronics.
Saganay's right there. She can give you a hand.
Okay. You want to teamwork it?
Maybe.
It's
I
the
was
end
gonna
of-
try to shoot.
Okay.
No, but
I'm
yeah,
trying to
but
get us
I
to an
don't-
end.
I would. Yeah. I'll teamwork it with you if
Okay.
you
Okay.
still have the teamwork dice.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. 4 and a 6. So
All right.
that's a positive. So it'll
The
be a
door
6.
gets up about halfway. You manage to override the quarantine enough that you all could run underneath it. And you know that basically on the other side, you could probably do the same. And as long as you can get there before Raleigh Gear Thumper figures out how to do the other side, you could probably still get to him. But it would essentially take all of you to run right now. But when you look at the situation, Furbrayne and Zara can probably make it. Emmett literally has a Legion that has a gun directly to his head on the other side because he ran away from you guys and is sort of like doing one of those things. Do you guys book it? What do you do?
I looked to Saganay and be like, let's go get some money.
I think we need to go.
Yeah.
Last second, desperate maneuver.
Okay.
The man's holding a gun, pointing it at Emmett. Try to make focus on the gun and make the butt of the gun come up and hit him in the eye.
Okay, go ahead. Try it.
Telekinesis for the win.
I mean, there's two
And I
Legions.
will
crit
be
fail.
all
So-
in.
Okay.
All in.
I will go all in positive. I desperately want Emmett to have a chance to get
yes.
away.
I don't think
There'll
he really
be a
has a chance, but
D12
this would be
and
hilarious.
a D20.
If
It's
you
dumb.
critically
Hilarious.
succeed, I'll say Emmett, you buy Emmett enough time. But if you don't critically succeed, I just don't see how he gets back to you guys.
Yeah,
in
no,
time.
it
Yeah.
would just be the thing that you try
Mhm.
to do.
Of
it's
course.
dumb,
Of course.
Got some big numbers
Oh, you
there.
rolled so well.
but it's not a crit success. It's did some nice numbers
17.
there.
Okay.
That's a big
So-
numbers.
It definitely
Yeah.
works. The gun comes up, hits him in the face. Maybe Emmett scrambles, but quickly you feel a hand on your shoulder as he grabs you as you try to run away. And he kind of keeps you in custody. So this is how we're going to play it out because we're well past time. There is a passageway that's open. Emmett is currently in custody from Legion. The rest of you book it down this passageway, and you find Raleigh Gear Thumper at one of these panels. Like, now, come on, now, freaking corp machinery, come on. Oh, hey, friends. Hey, how's it go? Clunk as Saganay comes up, smashes him in the back of his head. And the way we'll finish it off is you all eventually make it back. Unfortunately, Emmett has been captured in the process, but you make it back. You've lost Calcanus in the process. You did get your bounty. And maybe we'll come back to this in the future and see if we can recover Emmett, who is currently being experimented upon somewhere deep within the red zone of
This
Alabaster.
is the second
3.
one of my characters that's been captured by medical quarantine people.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
right.
That is
a
really
thing
funny.
for you.
I feel like, maybe I'm going back to this. So, yeah,
I've really enjoyed this though.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
For
are.
sure.
But we're over our
love
time.
Jacob Flint. I love him so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I kept thinking, I'm like, okay, I got to be crafty about how he turns on them somehow. Okay, he's gonna, if they do this, and then, they just left him. Okay, yeah, he just turns around and runs.
Well, as you said, who's the brains of the group?
Yeah.
I felt a little bad,
It's
but it's
supposed
just
to be
like
my
it was
character.
so easy. Yeah, like if someone stayed back with him, he was gonna shoot whoever was there, and like because I was gonna play it as he did sneak a gun because Emmett crit failed to see whether he snuck a gun, so we'll say he probably had a weapon on him.
Yeah,
Something like that. Okay, but I like
super
Jacob
fun,
Flint.
super fun.
Jacob Flint's one of my favorite characters now. What?
I love him.
What
I love him.
What a piece of crap.
I do too.
Oh, he's great. Maybe he'll be back.
Is he cast by Bruce Campbell? I can only assume.
That's a perfect
He has
cast.
to be.
Honestly, that's a perfect cast. That's just an absolutely great cast. Potential for part 3. Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll see. 2 weeks, we would be back with more Friday. We can talk about it, see what we want to do. But until then, why don't we do a couple closing plugs and then we'll get out of here. Let me start with the game itself. So if you're watching this, Ragtag is over on BackerKit right now. Melissa's going to drop the link, and if you check if you're watching this later on YouTube or listen to this on our podcast feed, check the description. You'll see a link to BackerKit. I think it's up there for another week and a half or so as the time of this stream. Rules light, Fragged Empire setting, so it has that kind of same zany space sci-fi distant future feel. So I'm really enjoying it. I like the light rules. It feels fast. It feels silly, and like the drama dice are actually really fun. Like it's really fun seeing you all try to manipulate them and stuff. So, but all right, well there we go. Let's let you all do your usual plugs. Chuck, Joe, what's going on with Defenders Cobalt?
Yeah. So Wednesday we're scheduled for some more Night Below. That's using Dungeon Crawl Classics. Friday. We're doing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, where Joe plays the most precious plant in the entire world.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I've got a game out that people should go buy. I think I've got a copy back here. Yeah. It's called Teenage Odyssey. Go pick it up on drive-thru. It's fantastic.
Awesome. Where'd my copy go? I had it here a second
I
ago.
don't know.
It's disappeared on me. I don't know. I have my copy somewhere. I showed it last time.
If only there were people that would like choose to like shame you for expectations that were communicated ahead of time. Oh my gosh. Wow. How terrible would that be?
Oh,
right?
And you know it's a game you want to check out because I've already gotten a message from someone who's very angry about it, which means you need to check it out.
Came ready.
Yeah.
I did. I don't take shame lightly.
Jeff's been gone for a long time.
It's somewhere. It's somewhere.
Oh, the
Keep looking
shame,
for it.
Jeff.
Gotta
Oh
keep
my
going.
Shame,
gosh,
just
Jeff.
eat it.
Shame.
Nom, 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 eat it. Eat
Oh
that
my
shame, you
gosh.
son of a bitch.
It's fantastic. There you go.
Okay,
Good job,
fine.
Jeff.
Good for you.
Jeff,
There we go.
fantastic. Joe, here's the real question, Joe. Where is your copy?
In my car.
What
Wow.
is it doing there?
That's where it was when I got it from when we were playing D&D.
Yeah,
Mm.
sounds right.
All right. Okay. So yeah, there you go, Jeremy. What's the phrase? Suck it. Then let's kick it back towards my tray. My tray, where can we find you on the internet?
I am multi-place games on YouTube where I make system agnostic or multi-system content, but if tops that center the GM and player experience.
Fantastic. And then as for Lollygaggers, next game we got is tomorrow night, where we're going to be playing some Star Trek Adventures, the new 2nd edition from Modiphius. Steven hops into the GM seat for that. Thursday, you can see a few of us here playing through some Simba Room, some dark fantasy RPG stuff. Friday, we got some Delta Green, as we're back to that. Saturday, another one of our friends, our dear friend Steven, has made a game called Huckleberry, and it's a Weird West game. Hey, Jeremy, you got a book for this? Oh, look, Jeremy doesn't have that book. Oh, so you don't have both Chuck's, our dear friend Chuck's book, and our dear friend Steven's book. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so anyhow, we are playing that on Saturday. And we're having a ton of fun. So come see the game in its full totality as we're doing some nonsense as we're going on a steamboat ride from hell or to hell. Maybe both. And so come hang out with us. And you can also learn a little bit more about Huckleberry as the game and where you can find it and play it. And then next Monday, you can see us back playing more Alien. In a couple weeks, we're doing something with Fragged Empire, Ragtag. We'll talk about it. We'll see what we're doing, but something in the Fragged universe. But that's about it. All right, let's go ahead and raid somebody. Let's go ahead and raid. Who we got? Got Happy Jack's RPG. Let's go ahead, give them a raid. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see y'all later.
Bye.